Alright, hello and welcome to the 18th ever Equestria Daily podcast. Hitting the big numbers again, bigger than last time. Uh, yeah, wow, 18th. It's crazy, isn't it? So today we have with us.
We're now legal, NG.
The podcast is now legal. Oh no, it's fine. In my country, it was legal 2 podcasts ago. Oh no, it was legal on the Cutie Mark Crusaders one. That's not good.
That's not good.
Um,
Ooh.
uh, so today we have with us a new person, Fizzban. We get to ask the new podcast questions. It's super exciting. Uh, say hi, Fizzban.
Hello.
Hey, there we go. That's what he sounds like. Look out for him. Uh, and then we've also got Spirit again. Hello, Spirit.
Hello again.
Which one were you on, Spirit, last time? You've been on one before.
The parent
Parents
podcast.
one. All right. Okay. Good. So, as always, we'll start off with introductions, I guess. Um, and since Fizzban is the new dude, we'll start off with him. If that's
Right.
okay. So,
No, it's not okay. You didn't ask for consent yet.
do I have your consent to ask you questions, Fizzban?
Well, that's a question in and of itself, isn't it?
Get fucked, NG.
But I suppose yes, sure. Why not?
All right. Good.
Would be a pretty boring podcast if I said no.
Because otherwise, I just had to be quiet until like you offered me your consent. It would have been a interesting few minutes. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So, firstly, first questions first. If I can remember them, would be how did you get into horses?
I'm gonna rephrase that, but all right.
All right. So, how did I ended up starting a show about funky colored horses?
Yes.
Well, I sat in front of my computer and I was chatting over, I believe it was called Messenger back in 2012. And I noticed one of my friends had this avatar of a very pink pony.
Oh, he's
And
got
I
good
asked
taste.
him, I knew you'd say that. And I was like, what is that? What picture is that? Where's that from? And he was like, oh, that's from the new My Little Pony. They started up a new generation and it's really good. Here, I'll find you an episode. So he linked me and I was like, yeah, no thanks. So
And then that was it.
a week passes.
You never liked it again. You just disowned him as a
No,
friend
and I
and
was
moved
like,
on with
I
your
just
life.
randomly stumbled across this Discord and I was like, do you want to join the podcast? Sure, why not? What's this about, by the way? But yeah, a week passes and eventually I'm like, well, I got some time on my hands and I don't quite know what to do. So I was like, well, maybe I should, just try watching an episode. And well, I watched an episode. It was a two-parter, and I was like, I suppose it was all right, and it was a two-parter, so I might as well watch the next one. What's the next one? And lo and behold, here we are today.
So you're like, so which episode did you start watching with? What's the episode he gave you?
The very first.
Oh, I see. And then you just finished that one.
I'm so sorry.
No, I actually liked it.
My condolences.
I'm so sorry.
Season 1 premiere was good though.
Yeah. I
Excuse
mean,
me.
the only thing
Who
I
have you
watched
been talking
the
to?
end of the season premiere, the episode 2, and when they like defeated Nightmare Moon, I was like, oh god, that's so cheesy. But apart from that, it was actually quite good. I enjoyed myself watching that.
You guys have strange opinions.
Mhm.
Maybe you're the strange opinion.
Oh, we're just getting started.
We're just getting
Well,
started. Oh,
I
no.
guess it's the Spirit. Was the season 1 premiere good?
Yeah, sure.
There you go. Spone 3 to
course,
1.
it's
Yours
what
is
got-
the strange opinion.
It's what got me into the show. Like, obviously.
I mean, I watched it as well, but I didn't like it.
Oh my god, the first episode was so terrible. Let's watch the second.
Exactly.
What? The first episode was the best. The second was a bit meh.
The best. Excuse me.
Well, the best of the premiere. The
Oh
first
well.
two.
I mean, yeah, 1 out of 2, I would suppose. Yeah.
The first episode was best of the first episode.
My favorite episode. The first one.
No, it's not my favorite of the all-time episodes.
Characters had a lot of development. They were very well thought out. They were great that first episode.
Okay. What's the second one?
Pretty sure it's asking him how he managed to get here.
Yeah, I feel like it was. but I wasn't too sure. All right, so what he said. How did you get to the Equestria Daily Discord or the community as a whole?
Wow, I don't really remember how I ended up browsing the Equestria Daily website, but for some reason I ended up there. Maybe it was searching for episodes to watch online, might have been. Or maybe it was just like, I ran out of episodes, there must be something more. Eventually, though, I started browsing Equestria Daily and I stumbled across a music post from Bronified. It was their Brony Metal Medley. And I was like, wow, this is really good. And I started listening to more and more of the Brony music and started realizing how creative the fandom was. And it just sort of resonated well with me. I mean, creativity is always something I've been a fan of, and there was just so much of it. So I started like digging deeper and, just seeing what people had to offer in forms of music, games, and art. And eventually I got on to this Discord,
Okay,
and here we are.
so all the fan content just sort of like dragged you in.
Well, yeah, I suppose. The fan content dragged me into the fandom, I guess it's fair to say.
Yeah, I mean it's good stuff. It is what keeps the fandom alive easily. So
Yeah, I was actually on the peripheral of the fandom. I didn't get involved much, like talking with other bronies, until, I guess, Galacon this year?
yeah, I was gonna say I had like no idea who you were until I met you in that fucking restaurant at Galacon.
Yeah,
That was a
exactly.
good restaurant.
It was
It was a pretty good restaurant. I mean, I've made some pony let's play videos of different pony games, but
yeah, I saw
I
some of
mean,
those.
yeah, I don't really interact that much before I started going to Galacon, and that's when I started to really getting to know people and talk some more.
All right, all right, all right. Good so far. Good so far. Now we're going to talk about horse-related activities. Well, not really. First question, hopefully the easiest, unless you're Spirit. Who's your favourite pony?
Thanks, Angie.
Is that still for me, that question, though?
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna say that I can't really decide, but it's kind of between two at the moment.
Okay.
As you may have guessed, Tempest is one of them.
You mean Starful Garangapone?
Exactly.
All right. Good
And
choice.
the other one would be Luna.
All right. Luna's just
Uh,
edgy one that everyone likes since season 2. Why do you like Tempest so much more than everyone else?
Well, I guess the same reason why I also like Luna. It's the whole concept of the redeemed villain that I really like in a character, because I think it makes them more interesting. I mean, the social interactions they have with everyone else is not going to be the same because of their past, especially not in the very beginning when they've just like turned a new leaf and trying to not be a villain anymore. Then simple things like just interacting with people is going to be a challenge for them because they aren't really accepted yet. And that makes for some interesting stories. And they kind of have to still struggle in order to get accepted and make up for the wrongs they did. And I think that just makes for more interesting characters.
So TLDR.
So what we've learned
sorry.
is that Fizzban really fucking loves Silver Shill.
Well, nah. I mean, we established at Galacon that Silver Shield is best pony, I suppose, but
Well, there you go.
no.
That's all we needed to know.
But my favorite pony is either Tempest or Luna, I guess. Also because their designs, I really like those.
You like edgy horses. We get it. We get it. Don't worry.
All right.
Come on, if your
But
top
yeah, I guess.
2 favourites are Tempest and Luna, you cannot say you don't like edgy horses.
I suppose I'm a villain kind of guy. I mean, on my phone, my Samsung phone, I have a Nightmare Moon cover. My lock screen is Daybreaker, and my background screen is Tempest. So yeah, I guess.
Just a good old 1, 2, 3 punch.
Yeah.
To be fair, it's like one step up from Rainbow Dash fans, so I think we're getting somewhere.
It isn't like everything a step up from Rainbow Dash fans, though.
Yes, but this is only one step up.
Oh, I see. So this is like the next level.
There's like 20 steps in the staircase, and he's on like step number 1.
All right.
If there is a step for every pony, we're gonna need more steps.
No, it's not a step for every pony. It's just for favorites.
Where does the "Oh, I love everyone" go?
They go like -5 probably.
All right, yeah, fair enough. They're in the basement.
They don't even get to they don't get the staircase
Yeah,
yet.
they don't get to see the sun
They're
or
just
light.
crawling on the pavement.
Yeah, yeah. All right.
I hope you remember the next questions because I don't.
I do. What is your favorite episode?
But that's a hard one.
This is kind of an outward one there. Just
Just perfect pair. Just say that, and we can move on.
Nah, no, it's not that one.
Oh well, all right, never mind. You've disappointed like half the fandom now.
Yeah.
not me though. It's because
But I'm
it's
okay with that.
fame and misfortune, right?
No, I think it might be the season 2 finale. I think.
No.
Season
I guess
two-
that's 2 episodes, but
I
Capital
can't-
wedding.
season 2 finale.
That's another like
Yeah.
half the fandom. They're the rest of them are happy. It's fine. It's a decent one. It's a decent one. Like, don't even have to ask.
Season 2 finale is my favorite. There was bad people.
Oh come on! It was like a Disney movie or some shit. It was nice.
Exactly. Next thing I know, everyone's gonna start saying like, "Oh, Frozen was my favorite episode."
Frozen was my favorite. All right, why do you like the season 2 finale, Fizzban?
Well, I might get into a bit of one of the topics we may come into later, but it's because of the changelings.
Oh, I see. Yeah, no worries. We'll discuss that one later then.
And because, well, also the song is so good. It's so good.
Yeah, this day aria is no, you mean Love is in
Yeah.
Bloom, right? That's
No,
what sealed the
yeah,
deal.
no, goodness.
That's the one that he
This day
found.
aria.
The top song. With that
Good
He
Yeah.
liked the
Mm-hmm.
Ladybugs. The Ladybugs was his song that he liked.
I liked It'll Be Okay.
Well, no, but this
Oh,
day
Jesus
aria
Christ.
was a very solid song, and I really liked that one. And the changelings, I really liked those, and yeah, the plot in the season finale, I think, was also very solid. The only thing I didn't really like was the ending, because it felt like they just ended it like, oh shit, we need to end this, snap our fingers, boom, everything is good again.
Yeah, it had like really good pacing, and then it was just like, wait, no, we don't have like an hour and a half. Let's just you're down. Don't worry. They've touched horns and everyone died.
realized- They realized that they're not writing a movie, and they're like, "Ah, shit."
Yeah, and that's the only thing I didn't really like. It was the ending was a bit rushed and corny.
You do get that with a few things, to be honest. It's a bit better
Yeah,
with the
it is
season
true.
finales, but yeah. All right, I think final song. You probably already answered it, and I already said it. What's your favorite song?
Ooh, well, actually, it's not this day aria. It is a very good song, and one of the reasons why I like the season
It's
2 finale.
Spike doing the anthem.
No, it really is not. Spone, do you just have terrible opinions?
Nah, I got great opinions. You just don't agree with them.
It's a,
Oh goodness.
Listen to call out.
they're just on another level that we can't appreciate it. It's fine.
That's true. I mean, I think my favorite song might be.
I love.
I'm tempted
Kirin.
to say the new one in season 8 with the Kirins.
Oh,
I
Kirin
really,
Tale.
really like that one. Yeah.
That is a very good
I
song.
mean, I really like the message in that song as well.
Alright, heads up to all the listeners. There'll probably be season 8 spoilers if you haven't already seen it yet.
Which song? Wasn't there 2 songs?
Was there?
No, not on that episode. There
Yeah,
was a
I
reprise.
mean, there can
but-
be
That
a
was the
rainbow.
okay. Yeah, it was the reprise.
Yes,
All right.
same
If you
song.
never let it rain.
Sorry, what did you say, Spirit?
Yeah, there can be a rainbow if you never let it rain. Something.
A candle never glows until it burns.
Yeah.
Wow. No, what a deep message.
Can't give up.
The
your
sun
Yeah.
doesn't shine unless it does.
life.
Rain doesn't fall from the sky unless there's water in the sky.
it's real
You
sad.
completely misunderstood that, Spawn. Please.
No, I got the message loud and clear.
It's that you're a soulless bastard.
Probably.
Although We Are Not Flawless is also really nice.
There you go. I can agree with that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Flawless is the best song in the show.
But yeah, that's my answer, I guess.
In the show.
All right, wait, what?
Spirit, are you ready?
Flawless or Kirin Tail?
Both.
All right, easy days, easy days.
There you have it.
The good old 1-2 punch.
Nah, yeah.
All right, I think that's it. I always feel like I
was
forget
asking
something.
Spirit, are
Like,
you ready?
I feel like there's more than 5. I should go listen to like an older podcast, and
There's not 5. How many questions did you think we have set up?
I don't know. I thought there was.
That's just the entire podcast. It's me answering questions.
I think
Yeah,
there.
we have 17 questions for you for the introduction.
Oh, it's
And
because
you wonder why these things are 2 hours.
in the early ones we had mods on, so we asked them like how they became to be, so how they got into the fandom, and then how they became to be a mod of EQD. I think.
We also ask you your favorite color, your favorite meal, your favorite time of day, and your favorite day of the week.
Yeah, go on then. What are they, Fizz?
In order.
I don't even remember all those questions.
Well, sorry.
Yeah. All right.
Time to kick him
Moving
out.
on.
You're not invited.
We don't care
Alright,
about
then
your.
the answer
No,
is
no,
42.
too late. Too late. We do not care about your
Aw.
response anymore. It is expired.
All right, I'll go back into the well.
It's gonna be cut from the podcast.
It's Spirit's time.
All right. Take it away, Spone.
God
I
damn it.
trust you.
Welcome, Spirit.
Hello, Spoon.
What is your favorite main 6 horse?
Ooh, I don't have one.
Favorite main 6 horse?
Yes.
I have to honestly go with Twilight, I guess, because
There
he's
you
the
go.
most relatable.
Oh shit.
Good
I was just
answer.
memeing when I said that you don't have one. You're allowed to not have one. I'm sorry.
You're allowed to not have one now. It's Twilight.
No,
you
it's
already answered.
just-
It's too late. You can't pull back on
Too
that, by the way.
late, too late.
For the
No,
rest of
she's
your
cool.
life, you've already dedicated.
You know, it's interesting with this show because every character is a really strong stereotype. And out of the stereotypes, I think that one fits me the most because usually most people around, you have the people who go to uni and are kind of social outcasts, let's admit it. So,
What, in
yeah.
the fandom or?
Are you trying to imply that, like, not everybody here is not a social outcast?
Maybe. Take that as you will.
Got it. Second question. Who is your favorite background horse?
Horse?
Yes. Or I guess character, but I say horse.
Yeah.
Unless you have a
Um,
background character that's not a horse.
Yeah, it's a Autumn Blaze because it's pink.
Autumn Blaze isn't a background character.
What is
Just that's a secondary character. Easy days.
A secondary antagonist.
And a villain of the Sound of Silence. Background. I guess Celestia.
So you know what? Good enough.
There we go. Everybody
Definitely
knows it.
background. Another secondary, but you know what? We'll go with it.
It's yeah. She doesn't have a speaking role. She's barely in any
She does have speaking
episodes.
roles.
She's
Yeah, pretty much.
yeah.
She has multiple speaking roles. She had an episode for her.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Stop proving me wrong. Stop it,
Background
Phil.
character.
That's,
My
that's not what we're
favorite.
supposed to do.
Who's your favorite
know.
background character? And then I'm gonna get the Applejack response.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
I couldn't be this cruel to make that joke.
All right, NG. I don't remember the other 2 questions. What were they?
Well, one of them was secondary character.
Well, he already answered that one
Yeah.
as well, so we got that one out of the way.
Is it the other one? Wasn't there only 3? No, there was 4, wasn't there? Drat, what was the
There
4th
was 4.
one?
There's always 4.
Yeah, good to
Just
see
throughout
I'm
the
just
favorite
as
meal,
prepared
favorite
as the host.
color, favorite time of day. Those you can never go wrong with those.
Yeah. What is your favorite color?
White.
Wait, what?
That's not a.
What?
You know what? Fine. You know what?
This is
Fine.
this is broken. This is breaking. This is.
Spirit. These are the worst answers I've had.
Uh,
You're not even answering the questions. You're just giving out like words.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe he's just like semi-listening to the questions and just giving a half-assed answer.
It's like NG. What's your favorite number? And then you answer like I, and it's like, oh, thanks. I appreciate that.
Hold on. Did you say color?
Yeah, I did say favorite color, and you said white. I is a number. Yes, I understand. It's the fucking square root of -1.
Ivy. IV is my favorite number.
Ivy. Now,
What?
NG, what is today's podcast about?
Today's podcast, it is about Galacon.
Galacon. Oh man, I loved
Yeah,
Galacon. It was my favorite. I went there and had a great time. It was wonderful.
Galacon was fantastic. I do agree.
I swear we could turn this into a Galacon podcast.
Yeah, we
I swear.
definitely could.
We're
We
not
just have
turning
to
this into a
expose.
Galacon podcast.
No, I'm joking, of course. We've got these
Who's for
guys.
turning this into a Galacon podcast?
We already had a
Yeah,
con
we already had a
podcast
con
and
one,
You weren't
so
invited.
it's fine. All right, but real talk though, today is going to be about MLP CCG.
No, Jesus.
Oh, fantastic!
Oh, today's
Ah,
podcast
good.
is
Talking
going
about-
to be about karaoke.
Yeah. Let's talk about some really good openings.
We're gonna
Let's
talk
get
about
real. It's about
karaoke.
the MLP comics.
Oh no.
Okay, I find with that too.
Yeah.
You guys have any other like terrible ideas? Can we just
What?
get them out of the
No.
way very early?
No, the comics are great. I've read almost all of them.
Oh,
Also, they're
I
canon.
love the comics. They're my favorite. I read all of them.
They are.
I've
I really
read
should
so
read
many
them,
of them.
but-
Some of them have really amazing art in them. So good that I just don't know what to do with my. And the writing, top notch.
Can you like Shouldn't? I
I
have this
should
print
not.
by Andy Price over there. It's one of the best art in my entire room. Maybe the best.
His Andy
Also
Price print
signed.
is pretty good.
Top that.
I won't lie.
Yeah, it's really good.
Agreed.
Hey, NG,
Yep.
can we fire both of them?
Wait, what?
I don't think we're hired.
Yeah, well, you're hired for today.
Are you
You're like on contract,
you-
kind of like the writers for the show.
you saying that fucking Andy Price is Garbo?
No, I would never say that.
Hold on. Oh, where's the server mute? There it is.
Where's the server mute? But hang on.
All right.
But I guess we actually do have a topic for today's
Yes.
podcast.
Today we are actually talking about.
How Spawn's opinion is garbage.
Yeah, it's an
We do
intervention.
that every podcast.
It's intervention, Spawn.
We-
You need to
Sounds
wake
like
up.
intervention.
Your family needs you.
We're talking about
You
races.
guys make it sound like I'm fucking in a coma or something.
We're talking about non-pony races in My Little Pony. Friendship is magic. So,
Time to discuss racist barn.
yep, we're gonna go into detail the lyrics of that song, what it represents for the show as a whole, things like that.
Oh no.
So we've had the movie, we've had season 8, we've had all the student 6, all different races. Races are being expanded upon with these new people, and we're going to talk about some of them. All the ones I could think of that weren't.
All the ones you could think of. I can tell you missed like probably quite a few.
All the sentient ones.
Yeah.
I think
yeah,
you
when I
missed quite a
put-
few.
Wait,
Still.
really?
Yeah.
When I
I don't-
pointed out some, you immediately disqualified them from being talked about. So
Yeah, like you didn't mention Breezies at all on there.
Oh yeah. Oh, no one cares about Breezies. And Deer are
didn't-
comics
there's
only.
a
We
few
don't care about
others.
Deer.
Yeah, deer don't count. Sorry, Spirit.
Oh dear.
Oh,
Shots
yeah.
fired.
Yeah, deer don't count. Sorry. Also, you didn't put zebras on there either.
There's one. Well, yeah, I forgot about zebras. You can't blame me.
So does this like include monsters like timberwolves and such?
No, obviously they don't
Manticore.
matter.
We're just talking about
They can't
like,
give consent. They don't matter.
yeah, people who can think.
All right.
I guess. We
Okay.
could sneak Breezies in and zebras. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Podcast 18, all about consent. If they can't give consent, they're not a race.
So we are going to start with the podcast question because I just realized we haven't asked that yet. Crazy talk. All right, Fizzban, what is your favorite
Yeah.
non-pony race?
All right, my favorite race is the Changelings of old, like before they turned all colorful and weird,
Oh, okay, so the
like when they were villains.
Hi, bad shot.
you're not wrong. So you like the badass changelings?
Yeah, because I liked when they first arrived, I was like intrigued by their aesthetic design, shape-changing bug-like pony kind of creatures that feed on love. I mean, that's interesting to me. I hadn't seen that before, and I was intrigued to like sort of see these new creatures. I mean, I like something new that feels like it was part of the MLP world specifically. I mean, when I see a changeling, I know, well, I don't see that anywhere outside the MLP. It's unique to this world. And I like that. I mean, obviously, shape changers aren't a new idea. A lot of shows have done
They're
that.
cool
But
anyway.
yeah, I mean, they have a really unique design. And the fact that they like, usually when you see shape changes, you see them like as loners or not as a group, usually.
Yeah.
But changelings are different. Like, I mean, they are a swarm, like
It's the
bugs.
body
and such.
snatchers. They're coming.
Yeah. And I really like the design of them.
Oh.
And just the idea that they need like love to survive. That's the idea when they were first introduced. Like they actually, it's kind of have to be the way they are in order to survive, sort of, before they change their ways anyways.
Yeah.
Until we get retconned. Got it.
Yeah,
And they're creepy as balls. Like that season 6.
exactly.
finale
They
was
actually look like, yeah.
Alright, so that's a
They're
decent answer.
bug. Nobody likes bugs.
I like that one. I like that one. Spirit, can you compete with that?
I definitely can't.
Alright, great. Spone?
I don't even know what he said. I heard mumbling.
He said he definitely
Yeah,
can't.
that's.
No.
And she heard me.
Spirit, what's your favorite race? Go.
Honestly,
If
I
you answered
really.
deer, you're fired.
Okay, this will make it a little bit more harder, but I really love the visual design of the Kirin.
Oh, okay, there
Like
you go.
when they, I mean, they've been in just one episode and they've been shown very little. Like they talk about the issue, one problem they had. They talk about the other form. That was about it. They did not discuss the race as a whole, any like habits or anything they did. It's just shown one village and that was it.
I
And
think
the
they're
only
kind of shown to be like just normal compared to everything else. Like,
yeah,
I think they
they
eat
were like
food, drink water. I think they got like
precisely they
normal
were
things
just
going on.
normal, nothing special, nothing eccentric. Like the only example we had, the Autumn Blaze, was pretty much an eccentric kind of Kirin, like really extreme. So it isn't really descriptive of
The
what.
Kirin actually do have one very special trait. I mean,
Oh,
when they
God.
turn into the Nyrics.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're shape changers. Fizzban fucking loves them.
Yeah. Fizz loves everything as evil.
Anything evil. he likes.
They just set on fire at will once they learn to control it. Easy days.
Yeah, but
Lowers your gas bills. It's the perfect solution.
it's just in the winter gets angry because it's cold and
And they're not cold anymore, but then they're angry that their house is on fire.
It's how
Yeah,
they survive winter, just set themselves on fire.
I feel like it's their fault
You
for
know what?
making flammable homes, but like, that's another
I
topic.
think it's their fault for being partially made out of fucking wood.
Yeah, they are, aren't they?
yeah.
Yeah.
But aside from that, I'd say Yaks are a really great race with
That's
Equestria.
a
Like I really like the vibes they brought with it. Like they were playing with it with like the Eastern unicorns, some other nations, with the curved horns, like Mistmane.
yeah.
Those have been in a few tales, but I like introducing another race with a whole culture, not just different race with different traits and different looks, but a whole different way of life. And I think even though it was really broad from our world, it's not really an issue with me. So
You like Yak
the X were
Smash?
something.
Yak
X Smash,
Smash,
X
my
Smash is
favorite.
great. My favorite thing to do.
Yak Smash.
Every morning I just wake up and
Don't
Yak Smash.
smash Yak, Spirit, please.
Yeah, it's not very
You're not my mom.
culturally appropriate, to say the least.
I mean, at last I'm not discriminating because of race.
So you just smash everyone, easy days. I'm glad we
Obviously.
reached this
As
resolution.
long as there's consent, it's okay. I'm glad we've
Yeah.
talked about this.
Yeah, well, welcome to consent podcast.
Yeah, it's always the
Hey,
consent
NG.
podcast.
NG.
Yep.
What's your favorite race?
Hippogriffs. Because hippogriffs are great.
Terrible
No,
answer.
no. Hippogriffs are great.
Just god awful
Not
answer.
only are they fucking burb
Oh, they're shape changers.
ponies.
Fizzban loves them.
Exactly, they can turn into sea
Well,
ponies.
that-
No one likes sea ponies, though. Sea
The
ponies are
sea-
boring.
What? What? They are so cute.
Hippogriffs are way cuter. Though.
Nah, sea
Why not
ponies.
both? You can just have both. They're the same thing. You
Yeah,
can have
exactly.
both.
Don't even have to fight. Just they're both the same
I
thing.
just
Perfect.
also people referring to them as sea ponies. They're just shapeshifted hippogriffs, even under sea. Just
Shape-shifted hippogriffs. That
learn your lore.
Well, it's true, but I don't know. I mean, how does
I
the
do.
Pearl of Transformation work? I mean, does it actually permanently alter your race, so you actually do become like this other race? I mean,
It's
they
just-
used to be hippogriffs, but
It's full
are
of
they
radiation.
now?
No, they
Yeah,
originally.
They are mutated hippogriffs.
They evolved to live underwater.
Just
Yeah, but
speedy
what-
evolution, easy days.
It was FEV, just forced evolution. That's what we got.
Unfortunately, the name Sequestria immediately disqualifies any sea ponies from like competing. So
Sequester is a terrible name still.
Sequestria is like
It's an awful name, yeah.
bannable offense.
Rip sequestration.
I mean, sometimes I think they try a little too hard with all the pony-like names of well-known locations. I mean, Sequestria is just like Equestria, but
Water.
Yeah.
What? I mean, Manhattan.
It's just like Equestria. but they
Manhattan
put a
is
C at
all
the
right
beginning.
with me.
Manhattan
but,
is great. Las
yeah,
Vegas is
but-
too.
Las
Have you
Vegas is-
tried? Have
Van
you read
Hoover,
the
come on.
Daring Do book, like the
No, I
actual
haven't.
release? It's
No.
terrible. I read
Probably
the first
not
3
canon.
chapters of that book, and it's like, oh, so they're calling it Vesuvius now, and they just kept going on like that, and I'm like, okay, please stop.
Yeah, reading on
It's getting
paper.
terrible
must
now.
be right.
Yeah,
It's fine. It's
It's
fine.
fucking awful.
yeah.
Alright.
Hey, NG,
Spone.
are you ready to know my favorite race?
Yeah, about to ask. What is your favourite non-pony race?
Definitely Running of the Leaves.
I think that's a pony-only event.
It's my favorite race.
They were quite racist back then. Like, non-ponies couldn't.
Do you want to know my
Okay.
second favorite race?
What is your second favourite race?
Probably the soapbox one. I really like that little soapbox derby car race they had as well.
Understandable.
Understandable.
Alright, Spone.
Would you like to hear
what's
my
your-
third favorite race, NG?
Yeah, let's just jump to. What's your fifth favourite race, Spone?
Fifth favorite race is probably I really like the Kirins. They're good. Above that would be like Changelings. I think Changelings are above that.
Alright. And what is. How do you distinguish between them? Like a fucking race
You
and a race.
distinguish between- Help.
It's not the most.
Send
These
the help.
First three are just races, and from then on they're just races. Like NG. Do you even listen to Spawn?
Alright, Spone, without being autistic, what's your favourite race?
I'm sorry, I can't. My favorite one would probably be. I'll probably go with. I think Changelings are probably my favorite.
Oh.
Like the new reformed ones. The old ones were kind of shit.
Oh, you like the gay ones?
What?
I didn't like the cut and paste ones. I like these ones that have more color to them.
You like the bright and fancy ones.
I like the bright fancy ones because they're not assholes, and also they can think for themselves.
They can think for themselves, yeah. We'll talk. I don't know. We'll talk about Changeling. We'll talk about Changeling later. That's fine. I'm surprised no one said, any of those amazingly expanded on races over in Klugetown.
Yeah, those are my favorite. I really liked background character number 7.
Yeah.
And Fish Guy. Don't forget Fish Guy.
Fish guy had a great
Dialogue.
yeah. It was good. Yeah.
He tried to take out Tempest. It was valiant. He was just like, I will save Equestria. Tempest, I fight you. And then he got, beat the shit out of. But he tried. He tried.
My favorite. My
That's what's
favorite bird.
important. That's. Yeah, Fishman just got dropped. He tried and he got dropped. He
Yeah, you got the tried and failed T-shirt.
did the main 6 try and fight Tempest? No, they're little bitches. They just ran. Fishman,
No.
I'm gonna stand in your way. We're gonna fight the Storm King. He was the change he wanted to see in the world, and he's underrepresented, to be honest. Yeah, Hippogriffs are out. Fishman is in. Fishman is my favorite
Fishman
race.
is in. The true race of the ocean.
Fishman is a better sea pony than the Hippogriffs ever were.
Oh dear.
All right. So,
None of those are banned.
getting into actual races, let's talk about some of the. So, from the topic list that obviously you three.
Let's start with the irrelevant ones.
Yeah, let's start with the most important ones, and then we'll go from there. So I started with easy ones because there's only one of them, or they've only been like one episode or some garbage.
There's only one.
Yeah.
There's only one.
Well, there's only one for one of them, and it'll be obvious.
The entire town, there is only one fucking cow.
No, I meant like later on, you know. All right, so cows. What the fuck?
NG, how the fuck did you remember cows, but you didn't remember Breezies?
Cause I'm rewatching the show.
How about goats? How about goats, NG? You remember goats?
No, I don't.
Nah, but you remembered cows.
It's just because cows
No.
are super weird. Like,
It's all...
they're sentient. Like, when they did the stampede and Applejack stopped them, they were obviously sentient. Because they're just like, oh, sorry, we won't do a stampede again. We'll go
Consent
the
can't
other
be
way.
given.
And then fucking Twilight in the Ursa Minor episode just ran through a bucket, like a giant water tower bucket, through a barn and milked like 10 cows that were obviously in captivity. Like, that's either slavery
Consensual.
or
Consensual.
it's you don't just go up to some random people on the street and milk them. Like, that's not
I mean,
what you do.
Is there a law saying you can't?
I'm sure it falls under one of them.
Is
I'm not sure I like where
involuntary
this podcast is
milking, like,
going.
a law?
I'm just saying that was weird. That weren't right.
Look, they consent, all right. It's okay.
I don't think they did.
Also, you know,
It's
cows
indentured
actually
servitude.
need to be milked.
Yeah,
Otherwise
exactly.
it will like start bringing problems. So it's like symbiosis. They have ponies who milk them, and
I don't think they need to be
they
milked.
can keep
like,
the milk for them.
I think they only. Anyway, that's another topic.
Like have you never needed to be milked, Angie?
No, I've been a
I
weird
have
one. I
nipples,
have
Greg.
never
Can you
needed
milk
milking
me?
in my entire life. It's real strange. Because I'm getting uncomfortable, I'll ask you guys if you have any.
But there's a reason I'm being quiet.
So, I just wanted to throw cows out there because I wanted to point out how really fucking weird they are. If any of you have
I
any
do agree,
opinions on
and now I kind of wish I hadn't thought this much about it, but it is actually is kind of weird.
it is.
Because it's like they need to be redirected from stampeding through Ponyville and just wrecking everything. And it's like, if they're sentient, it's like, why don't you just go stampede the other way?
I mean,
Sometimes you can't
the
control your
reflexes and panic just steer the herd someplace.
I can't even
They-
remember, why are they in a panic?
Uh,
Do we even
Yeah,
get a
sure.
Oh, I
reason for
think
that?
one of them
There was.
thought they saw a snake, but then it turns out no one did, and they were just
It
idiots.
was a
It was-
cucumber. The whole time.
Yeah.
yeah,
So,
that's not
Fine.
even the. This is not even the worst thing about cows. The worst thing about this terrible design is it opens up way more questions. Like, what about pigs? What about chickens? What about goats?
Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
how
chickens
many
and
of
pigs-
the animals are actually sentient?
Chickens and
And-
pigs can't give consent. However, the goats seem to have some form of like very primary like communication
I'd
ability.
ask a different question. Like, okay, you have sentient cows
Yes.
and you milk them. So
Yeah.
milk is the resource you get. What's the resource from pigs? Why do you
friendship.
farm pigs? Yeah, just gotta
Love
make
and
that friendship
kindness.
burger.
It's love and kindness. Also, they're very good for fertilizing the soil. Come on.
Yeah, so are cows.
Yeah, and they're also great for getting rid of trash because they fucking eat just like everything.
I like this podcast.
Obviously, Petunia has like visited the fucking pigs before. It's okay.
Good old Petunia. She's the real hero.
Also, if you have this level here, like, why do you put donkeys so much above? Like,
Because
you could probably explain
can
this with
talk.
donkeys because they're the very main characters, but why suddenly donkeys?
they have the ability to speak as well.
Also,
If
I
you
don't
don't
see
speak,
donkeys.
you're on the lower part of like this fucking
But
hierarchy.
how do you know they don't speak?
Have you seen them speak?
Maybe
I
they
mean,
just need to be
have
talked
you
to.
seen them not speak? Like, entirely? You
Maybe
just
have you
cannot. You
seen
have
them not
you
speak?
have no information about that. I was
Fluttershy
very
doesn't
bad
count.
at
She
that.
hears things.
Oh no. He's right though. Everything speaks to Fluttershy. So really, this is just a weird.
No,
I think
Fluttershy-
the
no,
more we
no,
get
no,
into
it's-
this,
this
is a
the
one-way
wronger it is.
relationship.
Like,
Fluttershy speaks to everything. We don't know if they speak to her yet.
Oh yeah, that's
she's
that's
just
true.
like trying to trick everyone.
She's
hey,
actually
like
just
guys, I
talking
speak.
I speak to
I can
animals.
speak to animals.
No,
And they can't
no
prove her
animals can in
wrong.
fact speak. It's Fluttershy just pretending the whole
yeah,
whole 8 seasons.
yeah.
It's like that one weird kid in school is like, "Look, I'm talking to the animals." It's like, no, you're not.
Yeah, she's so it turns out Fluttershy is just this mental disease.
Is that why they moved her like to the edge of the Everfree Forest, like away from the
Yeah,
town?
they got kicked out of town. 'Cause she like kept talking to like the birds and shit while people were trying to like eat their lunch.
Yeah. Well,
Angel Bunny does have sentience though.
this is just making me
Yeah.
uncomfortable. So let's move on to an actual relevant race. I think.
Got it.
Well, I say relevant. They're only in one episode, and they've never appeared
I
since.
say relevant, but they show
Buffaloes.
up once. Beefaloes.
They're
Beefo.
something. I think they just kind of realised there's nothing to do with them, so just never touch them again. They're not in the School of Friendship. We've never seen them. We've never heard about them.
Sounds pretty racist.
Apparently they showed up in the background in 2 more episodes, and it's about as much as they got. So
I mean, I would have actually liked to see the buffalo, like sort of more in the background every time we were in Appaloosa, just sort of mingling with the Appalachians to sort of cement that they have like worked out
They
their conflict
exist.
But then
and
you
that they
realize
exist.
that we
Yeah,
only
like,
went back like
Why wouldn't
2
there be
times.
buffaloes like making trades? Like pulling in
Yeah.
carts of goods and stuff and trading that for the fire water and
Look, all they wanted was their stomping ground, alright?
and they gave it up
That's
for
it.
delicious pie. That's some true values.
also little detour back to cows. There's
Why?
Don't
interesting
go back
point-
to cows,
because there's
please.
interesting points. Actually, they appeared in the comics, and it seems they have their
Oh,
own.
okay. Comics don't count.
You don't count. They have
Comics-
Cowhilly language. Maybe that's the reason ponies don't talk to animals all that much. And Fluttershy,
Cowhilly.
in fact, is just Cowhilly is a language.
Cowhilly.
Really? I can't
Cowhilly.
remember this at all, and I think I've read most of the comics.
God, I fucking love the writing of the comics.
Issue number 5.
How hard did you
Oh,
roll your eyes
The turtle speaks turtlese.
when you heard that?
Turtleese. Maybe Fluttershy is just really educated and can speak all the fucking languages.
Maybe
No idea.
she is.
No.
But
Maybe
There's
she's
more
crazy.
cows
I
in
think
the
crazy
series.
is better than saying she's well educated.
Yeah, I'm happy to say she's crazy.
Oh, poor Fluttershy.
Don't
Don't
feel sorry
sympathize.
for her.
Yeah,
It's okay. Her character
I
arc's
feel
done. Don't
sorry
feel
for
sorry
her.
for her.
she's.
I feel sorry for her.
that's for the viewers to decide.
Smash that like button if you feel sorry for Fluttershy.
Remember to like, subscribe, and click the bell if you feel sorry for
to become
Fluttershy.
part of the notification squad.
Yeah,
Yeah, you become part of the notification squad.
and
That way you get notified whenever we upload a podcast, which we never do because I quit forgetting. I don't know. Yeah.
yeah,
It was like 3 weeks.
Buffaloes.
ignore
Buffaloes.
and remember to not like, subscribe, and click the bell if you worship Satan. So that's for you guys if you want to do that.
I like how not liking Fluttershy is apparently Satan.
It's
I mean, it has to be. How could you not like her?
Yeah, I no clue how someone couldn't like Fluttershy.
How do you
Anyways.
explain that, Liptas?
anyways. All right, should we run on to some more irrelevant races?
Yeah, can we run on to better ones, please?
I can happily skip Kludge Town, to be honest, because no one knows what the hell they are. They
Yeah,
exist.
Cluj Town is
There's
garbage.
something.
I mean, we had Fish Boy, we had some other
We had
things with
Kappa,
like
whatever he is.
Hales.
Your first
and
owners are now canon.
Oh yeah, first owners are now canon. Oh, my Surf Sona's gonna date Twilight, and they're gonna have lots of kids.
Oh no, please don't.
So yeah, we talked about the issues that were with this in the MLP movie podcast.
Oh, wait. What is Grubber? We have to identify that question.
What is the grub? What animal?
Yeah, he's a tiny one of the Storm King guys.
Yeah, and I don't think they actually have like a name. They're
list
just
race.
called the Storm Creatures,
Yeah, they're storm
which
creatures.
is a terrible name.
That's a quality name.
No.
It's a great
But that's
name.
like an allegiance. It's like, oh, it's born
Yeah,
storm.
exactly.
No, they're all Storm. Like he's the Storm King, and then you have like the Storm Troopers, and then you have you have Grubber.
He's at the bottom.
He's a baby. It's like Spike. He's a baby one. There you go.
Yeah. Pay
Thumbs
2 and
up, you're
flip
welcome.
him, and then all of your opponent characters get exhausted, and they do not ready on their next ready phase. That's what Grubber is.
Get your fucking crystal cards out of here.
It's fine. That one was for Fizzban to understand, I hope.
Hey, NG,
like
would
card
you like to
references,
discuss a
but-
relevant character for once?
Yeah, alright, so Spirit, since this is your territory right
Mhm.
here, how do you feel about Kirins? What do you like about them? Where would you like to see them go in the future? Do you expect them to get back into the show? Or are you happy with just being a one-time thing and just having fuck tons of fan art made about them like bats?
I am quite certain they will get back to the show.
I'm sorry, but you're wrong.
Because just searching for Kirin brings up 1,152 results.
They're gonna bring them back because they were well liked.
Yeah, no,
Just
Well,
they
it's a
wait.
good reason to bring them back.
Oh,
they
just
were
wait.
really well received in the community. Like everybody loves them. Everybody
Yeah,
Kirinifies
so
their
would- so would
OCs
that
and
ponies.
cannon
But
horses.
this is exactly the reason why you need to stop the infection before it spreads.
Just
No,
like that.
embrace
ponies.
it. Embrace it and enjoy.
No.
Sit back
Actually,
and relax.
I'm with Spirit on this one.
Bats are terrible.
The Kirins are great.
I don't want
I
Kirins
mean, I
to
like
turn into
Kieran's, but I
bats.
don't expect him to come back.
What I liked about them, I liked the design mostly because there wasn't that much more shown. A little bit was shown in the architecture in the village. You could somehow guess a little tidbits about the culture, but nothing serious. And that's what I really miss. I hope they would
I actually
originally be.
disagree. I mean, we learn quite a bit about their culture and their history
Oh.
with the whole. That's the whole center of the
The
episode.
backstory.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
The first 5 minutes.
I'd say we learned, but I say it was virtually nothing. That was one event in the history of the entire race. Like
That's
there
all
were
they
no
had.
commons.
Nope.
It's all
There
they
are
had.
probably more, but there is only so much you can tell in 22 minutes. And I
Yeah,
think that
that's
what we
what-
got from the 22 minutes was actually pretty alright.
Spirit
Yeah,
wants
it
his
was
Enough to
own,
like
like,
get us interested in the
One
new race,
point in the
both
history.
aesthetically and the history and the lore behind it. It gets us curious.
No history lore behind it. They literally explained and resolved one single point in the history, and they did not explain anything else.
That's all they needed.
So they turned into those flame creatures, and
They're called
showed
Nyrics.
point how they reacted to it, and then they resolved it. That was everything. We didn't learn anything from that. Though I
Yeah,
agree.
but
It's
then the
part of the
question
interest.
becomes, what about the aftermath? What will the consequences be of their new decision when they go back to living the way they used to and destroyed their villages when they got angry? I mean, now you have to like find a way to deal
Now
with
they
it.
learned
I mean,
friendship. Now they learned friendship.
They learned
And
it's that
I-
easy.
no, I
They
don't
learned
think
Pat's
it is that easy.
program. You too.
I
can
don't
learn
think it is
friendship.
that easy. Because it would make a more interesting story if they had to struggle with it. If we saw them struggle and needed some more help adjusting
And did you see them
to a
struggle?
new way of life.
Did you see them struggle?
No, but there's not
My point
much
exactly.
time that has passed.
This is very questionable, like consent questions at this
No.
point.
Anyway,
Well, But my
I
point
see-
is that not enough time has passed from the conflict is resolved that you actually see the proper consequences and the
Yeah.
aftermath of the decision.
And
So
I'm sa-
that's why we may get a future
Fizz,
episode.
I don't argue about this. This wasn't even the point of what I was
I'm
saying.
so confused.
I'm so confused too. They've gone off on a tangent,
Yeah,
but it's
what is
serious.
happening? What is even happening anymore? I don't know.
We're
You're
discussing races.
We're
discussing the
discussing
Kirin.
aftermath. We're discussing aftermath of terrible choices, like taking Memphis on board at once.
I'm gonna put you guys down. You guys need to see.
And we just get muted. It's like, okay, welcome to the
Okay,
podcast.
Yeah,
this
just
is-
right-click server view. Easy days. We go just me and Spud can talk.
This is the podcast about races take 2 without Fizzban and Spirit.
without.
Angie, that time is gone.
So,
I'm unmutable.
And you're gonna have to edit in like a little thing. Saying,
Oh,
skip
hey,
to,
and someone
like,
just said that this
whatever time.
postcard is a rabbit hole to hell. Which brings me to say, this MLP show sending kids to hell since 2018.
Since 2018, that's it.
18.
that's only recently.
All
yeah.
right.
Well, okay, going back on the road to answer Angie, I like design because I can say we learned that much more. Like we learned one point in the history, and I think they will come back, and I would really love to see them come back, and I would love to see a world building episode
So like
the ones like
sorry, carry on.
like the Shadow Play, like Shadow Play, where they revealed all about a huge part of history, where they revealed the pillars, what they were, what they did.
What they wear. My biggest question for the pillars was, what did they wear? It's all been answered. It's all done.
So it's kind of like how we're expecting Hufar to have his own dedicated episode next season, right?
No, why?
Dedicated episode. That's a little too small. Dedicated show. Come on.
Yeah, it's going to be a side series and
No.
everything.
Like
The Who Far and
Yeah,
Trixie show.
Far and Trixie
No.
show. Like Generation 5.
Generation
There we
5
go.
is just
Who Far and Trixie.
It's yeah. It's
But
we-
actually,
we don't talk about
about-
that here.
About the Kirins, I actually hope they get another episode, not only to like see how they handle like everything going on after they have like learned friendship and can speak again, but it would also be interesting to see how they interact with other races. It's like, oh hey, there's a Kirin, I upset it, and now it's a friggin' demon. What the hell? I mean,
I
that would be
Lyric,
interesting.
thank you.
I would
It's
love
not
to see
Lyric,
the
it's
races
Lyric.
more coming together.
have you not seen the recap?
Like
Lyric.
last. Sorry, Angie.
I don't watch totally legit recaps. I'm
Well,
sorry.
then you're gay, aren't you?
Their humor is too fucking explicit for this server.
Yeah,
No,
we
I'm
don't
talking
talk about
about-
it here.
Fucking. In a
Can you do
nutshell.
another lip
In a
smack
nutshell.
before you tell me? Oh, okay.
Infuriating, isn't it?
Infuriating.
Oh no.
Wonderful. Oh no. Yes, I have seen them.
Good. Totally legit recaps are good as
Hey,
well.
NG.
Yep.
I liked Kirin's because they had a lion mane.
Is that it?
Yep. And also they caught on fire when they got angry.
I
Also, we had a Pinkie Pie clone, which is always good.
Every race has a Pinkie Pie.
every
clone.
race is a Pinkie Pie clone.
Almost. We're getting there.
Not clone, I would say. Other way around. Like, Autumn Blaze was a Pinkie Pie, then right. Changed my mind.
So, all right. So, welcome to the Equestria Daily Community Podcast. We're number 18 this time. We only have one guest this time, interestingly enough. We couldn't find a second one.
We only have one.
So, everyone say hello to Fizzban. He's going to be talking with us about races today. We'll start off with
I'm still
Kirin.
stuck in a well.
So,
People are going to be very confused when you do this.
Yeah, so it's like, wait, did I miss something?
all right. So, ignoring Spirit's terrible opinions, I thought that the Kirins were all right. I liked how they were like a representation of, like a physical representation of becoming angry and everything. I thought that was a nice lesson and all of that.
Physical representation of becoming angry.
They were, weren't they?
Ah, yes.
Like,
Whenever I get angry, I too metaphorically catch on fire and destroy everything around
but
me.
like,
Metaphorically.
it's a physical
Metaphorically.
metaphor, yeah. They, I think they're a bit overrated. Like they're alright. There's better races. There's
They have a
better
wood horn. Come on.
episodes.
They have a wood horn. And they have like weird scale leaf things on their back, and they got like a lion
There's just
tail
too
as
much
well as,
going
like,
on. It's just like, let's just, you know what, guys? We've only got a season left. Let's just fucking shove everything we wanted to do in a
Excuse me.
race.
too much going on coming from the
Have
guy
you-
who doesn't have anything wrong with the gay bugs.
Excuse me, have you even heard Kirin's an actual mythological race? And it's literally a dragon horse.
Oh, it's a
Literally,
dragon horse.
the
Oh, cool.
it means
But why do they have a
dragon
wooden
horse.
horn?
It's not wooden. You are wooden.
It looks wooden to me.
It looks like a no horn, like an antler. It's an antler. It's not wooden. You wouldn't
Looks
say
wood.
deer.
It looks wood to me.
Would you say deer have wooden
I
horns?
mean, a lot of the creatures are mythological. Like sea ponies are just hippocampi. Hippogriffs are
Hippocampi.
hippogriffs, I guess.
No, they're actually taking a lot of actual.
Dude, next thing you know, you're gonna tell me unicorns are unicorns.
Yeah, unicorns.
Hold on there.
Would you believe that
Hold your
Pegasi
horses.
are Pegasi?
Holy shit!
Oh dear, mind blown.
Exactly.
Thought they were bird horses.
Well, shit, yeah, bird horses are literally hippogriffs. Crazy talk. We've also got
Underwater.
griffins. The griffins aren't any horse, are they?
Griffins are part lion, part like eagle or some
Yeah,
shit.
no horse.
Yeah,
No horse.
yeah, they're lion and eagle. Griffons don't have horse part in them. Hippogriffs
And
do.
dragons
eagle
aren't
and
any horse either, and they're both really shit at friendship. Maybe we're onto something here.
Maybe
Yeah.
we're onto something.
Alright,
That explains why we associated friendship.
so, I put this as a race. There's only one of them.
And they're not really a race considering it's a god of chaos, but yeah.
Yeah, so I just wanted. So this is a quick one. Like, I'm not expecting to spend longer than 5 minutes on this one.
And before Spirit has a 5-minute opinion to share.
Draconequus is Draconequus sees
Draconici.
Draconici.
Draconequus.
Thank you. There's one. Are there more? Is
One
it
that
just
we know of.
the? So far, we've only seen one. So, do you guys think that it's literally just a physical representation of chaos? It's just a being Discord decided
Yes.
to take on, and there aren't any more?
Yes.
Or
Yes.
do you think it's like an actual
Yes.
race?
No.
Well, isn't he referred to as a Draconequus or something like that in the show?
Draconicus,
Or am
yes.
I remembering that wrong?
Yes.
Yeah,
You're not
yes,
remembering it
Draconequus.
wrong. You're correct.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't seen anything or any other than Discord being this race. I mean, not in the comics, not in the show, not anywhere else. And I really like it that way because I want Discord to like just be Discord, like being unique the way he is, being the only one of his kind because he's the master of chaos.
And he picked the most chaotic fucking looking thing he could.
He did. There's also chimeras and those kind of weird things, but
Nah.
Discord fits.
This is much weirder.
Yeah.
He's got like a little bit of everything.
He's got a little bit of everything. A little.
Yeah.
You know what I think? I think honestly, Discord is just a result of the universe having a stroke during the birth.
Having a stroke.
It's
The
just,
universe had a stroke.
This
and-
Discord is just an anomaly that happened in the world.
Yeah.
It's like
Someone
some
is pointing
chaos
out
got
that
sentience.
there was another one in the comics that was called Accord, but
Doesn't
in the
count,
comics, no. But the thing is, Accord is actually also Discord.
All right, good. So it doesn't
It's
count.
the same. Yeah.
Got it. Doesn't count. Irrelevant. Doesn't count. Glad we're on the same page.
But you can't just dismiss the comics. They're good.
Yes, I can
mean,
dismiss them because they're not canon.
They are
well,
comics are canon unless
they
it's
are. I
that's
think they
officially
are
happened.
complementing the series as a whole.
Complementary
The
in the same way
lore.
that a fanfic is complimentary. I'm not over
No.
here saying, "Oh, Fallout Equestria is definitely canon."
Until the show proves otherwise.
No, because someone actually got the license and get money to make this.
But this has been confirmed by Hasbro.
That they
Comics,
are canon.
comics
Correct.
are canon
Are
unless
not
disproved by show. Anything they put into comic is canon unless
Not
it
canon.
otherwise.
Well, I don't agree, but let's just leave it at that.
It's not canon. I'm sorry. The entirety of the fandom, like if we had a vote, most would agree with me. I'm not saying the
Yeah.
comics are bad. I'm just saying they're not canon.
You know what?
I'm happy.
If fandom decided what is and isn't canon,
Oh,
I would
yeah.
rather
Yeah,
not
that-
watch the show.
No,
Yeah,
I
that's a
would-
good point.
I think, yeah, comics are canon, Equestria Girls is canon. Like, if it's
Equestria
official
Girls isn't
media,
canon. Well, I guess
I'm happy
Equestria
to
Girls
consider it
should
canon.
be. Like, yeah, that can be canon since it's alternate like universe and like it kind of they play together a little bit.
As long as they keep the Requester girls out of my, pony show, then I'm good.
But yeah, comics don't
The
count.
comics just revealed the main characters are in their 20s. EQG claims they're high school age. They're just really stupid and got held back a few years. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it happens.
And I mean 20s, high schools until you're 18, close enough.
Maybe
Have
they
you seen their
failed a few-
education system? Can you blame them for getting held back?
Yeah, maybe they failed a few years.
Yeah, or maybe it's
They have
just
a fucking contest for a crown.
yeah.
Their school gets destroyed on the regular. I mean, there's just a lot of things that happen.
Or maybe the characters in EQD and the show have different age.
Maybe.
It's like the same thing. I don't think the Side-Y should have wings when goes through the mirror.
But maybe she
Like-
doesn't.
The worlds
We've never
the
seen-
worlds don't have to and shouldn't match because
Maybe
they're
they
different
don't.
worlds.
We don't know. Maybe the comics will answer that question for you.
Yeah,
Oh,
and I will find
almighty
out because
comics.
I will learn. I will read them.
Oh, almighty comics. Can you answer my headcanon, please?
What do you have against the comics?
I just find it
Available
funny
so
when people
much.
use them for
Spawn
arguments.
haven't read any comic and is salty about it.
I'm sure the
Discord
comics are good.
is actually like this
I
like,
wanna read the
incredibly
comics.
good guy. I want to read them as well,
sound good.
except for like getting a hold of them is a pain, and also a lot of the art styles just make me want to vomit.
Yeah, what? There's fucking
Just
Andy Price
read,
though. Andy
read
Price is
every
good.
Andy Prices.
Hey,
Yeah,
a
read
lot
every
of it's
fucking Andy
good.
Price.
Some of it isn't.
You can just buy some of the arcs that are good off Amazon. You can buy like a volume for like 12 quid. And it
Also,
has-
from what I've heard, like some of the comics, real fucking good. Some of the comics,
Yeah.
hot trash.
Exactly.
I agree. There are some stories that are just like meh. It just didn't really.
You know what?
catch
All
What
right.
me.
was
I,
what
I
was
think I
the
can
MMA? Or not MMA, the Luchador comic. There was one, and you went through all like 30, 40 pages. It was like, okay, so what did I just read?
Can we
There
have
wasn't any
like
story.
a hot take real fast? Like, if you guys are going to accept the comics as canon, can you at least like accept the shitty ones as canon too?
Yeah, you'll have to.
You have
Yeah.
to. I'm just imagining like
Alright.
But that's
really
the same with the
shitty side
show,
things.
isn't it? That's the same with the show. Even the shitty episodes are canon. And
Well,
Oh yeah,
Princess
so
Spike.
it's still canon. Yeah.
Alright, real talk. The
Just
voice is hashtag voice is preaching the truth. Sad Trooper with the I don't really bother for canon or not, honestly. I just enjoy horse. Very true.
agreed.
And
Yeah,
you
agreed.
can say that about
Yeah.
every comic ever, that there are some good ones and that there are some bad ones, which is
you can say about anything ever is that if there's more than one of something, it's probably good and bad,
yeah.
or good in varying levels of good depending on how you look at bad.
Yeah. Some people think Spike at Your Service isn't trash. Someone, somewhere,
My favorite episode.
maybe. Anyway, this is not
Yeah,
a
welcome to the
comics
comic podcast.
podcast.
I told you it was
comic
going to be a
podcast
comic podcast. I
inserted
announced that in the
inside.
beginning, didn't
Yeah,
I?
and I'm throwing out my PCCG references, so maybe it's just a triple whammy podcast. It's the big bamboozle.
It's a
Maybe
potpourri.
it's just Ken Hall single topic podcast.
So
It's like we're never gonna have Fizzban on here. No one knows what they're talking about. And
Well, like,
Gilda.
talking about everything.
main thing here is that we can't have a comic podcast. There's not enough to talk about because we don't read the comics.
yeah, I'd have
And,
to. One of us would have to read it, and then there'd have to be another host or something, or just one of us
Also,
hosting.
Crystal Card Games, not enough content there for us to make a podcast, so we're just throwing it in here as well. There you
I
go.
usually-
I'm
Why do you
solved.
keep calling it Crystal
Excellent.
Card Games? Really?
It's CCG. That's what I call it.
All right,
Right. So
let's get into
That's
the
not too bad.
meaty section of the podcast. This is what we were building up for. So, Student 6.
This is what Angie's been waiting for.
Let's talk about their races. They're
The Griffons.
I read my typo.
I wanna talk about the
We'll talk about the
Griffons.
Griffons first. The Griffons are great.
oh, they're the best. Yeah.
But they have received all
Yeah,
5 of the
Gita
Student
is
6
my
races.
favorite.
Obviously, I'm not including the pony. Have received a lot of expansion this season. on top of whatever already happened with them before, with most of them. Obviously, Hippogriffs didn't exist in season 7; they just existed in the movie and now. So we'll start off with the
What?
first introduced race of these, which is Griffons, because they were introduced all the way back with Gilda in Griffin Brush Off.
We have to have a quick question though. How do you spell Griffin, NG?
Griffon.
All right, Fizzban, how would you spell Griffin?
The same way. Or it's a
All right.
Griffon with a
Spirit, how would you spell Griffin?
Griffon?
Gryphon.
All right, thank you. I like Spirit. We can continue now.
I just realized it's IN and I'm stupid. But yeah, this is the fucking right way. Just because Black Griffin has a funny name.
That's how you spell Griffin. That doesn't, yeah, or Griffin. See, they both count.
Griffin.
But the original Gree.
So they're all fine. Oh, so
It's
all
Griffon.
3 of them are. Why do they just have 3 different fucking? I don't
Or
like
that string of
Griffin.
gibberish.
Like,
Yes, I prefer my favorite.
no, the real reason that Gryphon is wrong is because everyone spells hippogriffs, hippo, and then Gryph, which is just wrong. It's hippo,
Yeah, that's wrong.
Griff. Like, these people are idiots. If you spell it like that, you're an
Why?
idiot.
No, it's Gryph. Why, NG? Why?
No. All right.
I think it's just, differences. You could argue about American and British spellings and
I'm
stuff.
gonna spell it
nowadays.
hippo and then Griffin.
I love the hippogriffins. They're my favorite. Is that like the ship name for
Hippogriffins.
Silver Streaming Alice?
Yeah, hippogriffins.
What's the topic? Good question.
No one knows what the topic is.
Good question.
Sock, read the pins. Come on.
Yeah, come on. Is it literally the first pin? Literally the
Yeah.
first pin. All right. So,
Anyways, Griffins. yeah.
Giffins. What do people think of them?
Giffins.
What did people think of them when they first introduced them to the show? Their development. So with Gilda reforming Gabby, and now all the way over here with Grandpa Graf, and we've got what's his name, Gallus. So we've seen a lot in the show. We've seen that they're kind of hateful
lot.
people and things like that, but they're also starting to improve with certain certain griffs, such as Gallus and Gabby being like the very light-hearted people. So I'll throw this one to Spirit first. What's
Me.
your
Oh,
general thoughts on Griffins?
Giffen. Yeah, I'm not really fond of them because I don't really like the behavior they used to have, which they're losing, which I'm sad about because
I don't like it, but I'm sad that they're losing their old behavior. Spirit,
I-
why? You sound like the fandom in general right now.
yeah, just personified.
I don't like it,
I-
but it's changing, so I don't like that.
I don't
No,
like
I honestly, it feels weird to me. I like the change in like Gallus. I'll appreciate the change in Gilda. I just don't think the whole race should change because 2 other Griffons, like random people, not really people, but just change their minds. You can like everyone. Like I don't like dragons because they're just really they've been a lot of times shown to be like pricks at heart, and I really appreciate that in the show. And I had the same with Griffons, and feels to me like they're all changing towards good, while it's only Gilda and Gallus having some positive feedback about their behavior.
And Gabby.
That being said,
Except for they bring that positive.
Gabby's been an
behavior.
angel. Gabby's been an angel since the moment she appeared. We don't
Exactly.
talk badly
She's
about Gabby.
bringing kindness to everyone.
Yeah,
It's spreading
Armor Crusader,
the
come on.
good shit.
Gabriella. It's angel name. Gabriel.
Gabriel.
Yeah, literally.
Angel, there you go. It's Gabby.
She's a literal angel. Yeah. I really liked what Gallus brought in the season to the student 6. because he was really like closed and not really talkative at
He
first.
reminded me of a school shooter in the making.
What?
We
How?
don't talk
Wow.
about that here. We don't talk
Oh,
about
I
it
didn't
here.
even. I did not get that vibe.
I did. He's over there like, oh, you don't have happiness and everything sucks, and I just want to spend time with all you guys. And it's like, Jesus,
No,
calm down.
Yeah,
if we're talking
that
about school
episode
shooters
really.
in MLP, then we can talk about Wallflower Blush. But like,
Yeah, well, that's Equestria Girls. Also, it's a school setting.
nah, not Gallus, not Gallus.
I don't know where we are anymore.
Nobody. Actually, the only thing I didn't like about the episode, oh, the one when he gooed the tree. Heartwarming Club.
Something like that. Yeah.
He
The
gooed
only
tree,
thing I
he
didn't
was a
like
bad
about
guy.
that episode was it was aired on 4th of August. They always come up with a great like holiday special, and then they air it in 27th of
No, that's why
October.
they made a new holiday special to air on the
Which they're airing
October.
in November or October.
27th of October, mark your calendars, boys.
20
I've
what?
Yeah,
been
so
waiting for
27.
dear
27th
man.
of October.
Perfect holiday
Best gift.
season.
That's just great. I have to stimulate myself into the Christmas vibe beforehand. Manually, I have to play like carols right now to get in the mood
Yeah.
so I can watch it.
If I'm not in the Christmas spirit come Halloween, like, they failed.
I would
Exactly.
recommend not getting inside of the Christmas spirit. I don't think he would consent to that.
No, this
And
is
it's all
not a
about the
consent podcast.
It's all about the content.
Podcast 18 is the consent podcast.
Alright.
Yeah.
Fizzban, what about you? What are your thoughts on Griffins if you got...
Well, for the first many seasons, the only Griffin we really met was Gilda.
Yeah, that was like the first
and
full...
it's hard to judge a race based on just one person. I mean, speaking of Discord and such,
Yeah.
but Discord is a bit unique. But about the Griffins, once they started introducing more of them, I was a bit ambivalent about it because I actually like Grandpa Gruff. I think he's funny and kind of alright, actually. He's just a grumpy old Griffin,
Yeah,
but
he
nothing more than
brings
that.
some nice humor into the show.
Yeah, but then you like see everyone else in the town. I mean, literally, there is someone who would let is it Rainbow Dash fall to her death because she doesn't have the money to pay. And I'm like, that's terrible.
Honestly, it's a pretty good business practice.
And not if you want return customers.
Well, I mean, return, but like you gotta give them to pay. So I mean,
Yeah. So yeah, I think Gallus is actually all right, but he's a bit bland for me still. He needs more development, to be honest.
You guys
As a
hard on
race,
Gallus.
You know, he's
Yeah.
a member of the Student 6 with another character that's basically an OC.
wait, which
but the
character
Griffins as a
Silvar.
race is like I like that they're in the world, and I like they have kind of like this rough nature because they've like fallen from their former pride. But most of them are just like jerks, so I don't really like them.
That's what happens. They're just greedy, all right.
Weren't you the villain guy?
Yeah, I thought you liked villains. Come on.
No, I like reformed villains. I redeemed villains, and I mean sometimes I do think that having a
Like-
proper bad guy is like really cool and makes for a good story.
Like the pre-changed Changelings.
Yeah, but that's like the last part that I said about having a cool bad guy that makes for a good story. I mean, the pre-changed changelings, you can do so much with those.
You do so much. They can become anything.
Yeah.
All of his fantasies are filled with a changeling.
Oh no.
Let's not.
I didn't make any. Like you guys are filling in the blanks there. That wasn't me.
Alright, Spone, before I go ham on Griffins, well, not really ham. What do you think of them?
They're okay.
They're okay.
That's really all I have to say about it. Like, yeah, they're all right. They're kind of lame. I like that they're greedy because it's something unique, but not really, because you have Flim and Flam who do it better. So,
Oh.
yeah.
I like that they aren't perfect as a race. I like that they're not all sunshine and rainbows like everything else in LP. I like that there is like an entire race of people that aren't evil, they're just not nice. I like that despite that, there are still like lights within them, like Gabby, Reformed Gilda, and Gallus. I like Gallus himself. Um, I like that he's sort of the representation of Twilight, but doesn't like to own it. Like how he always studies in the background and knows everything for all the tests and all that rubbish. I think he's nice. And I think although there's not much to like about the race as a whole, I'm glad that they are in this show, and I think they bring something to it.
Yeah, true. Except that everything you just said is like they're like dragons, but dragons do it better.
All right, dragons then. Fizz, what do you like about dragons? What do you think
What
about
do you like
dragons?
about dragons?
No, actually, I was not entirely at 2 points. Like, you
Surprise
don't
guest,
have
Seth
you
Easter
don't
on the
have
podcast.
extremely polar characters all around. You can have some that are like dragons, but not as bricks, and they
What?
still have their place.
True.
Like, because dragons do it better doesn't mean Griffons wouldn't be valid in what they do, or what they are like. Also, Griffons are really, and G said it actually well, not evil. They're just
Neither are
grumpy.
dragons.
Dragons.
Dragons are prideful, and then you have the greedy dragons. Yeah, they're different. Yeah, pride and greed.
Yeah,
Mm.
I suppose.
What
True.
was the story Smolder told about
That was a great
the
story.
Dragon Lord taking in a small dragon? Like, I didn't expect that actually, to be
No.
honest. And the outcome was, yeah, just dragons like this kind of stories. Like when the small dragon just saw a chance, seized it, and exiled the Dragon Lord who took them in. That's dragons. The Griffons wouldn't do that.
Dude, if
They're-
you think
they're-
about it,
They're
go back.
like opportunist and power hungry and prideful.
Yeah, but also outright evil. They would really like not hesitate to kill to get what they want, which
To
we don't
kill.
say out loud because it's a show for kids. Okay.
There was no killing in my show.
But no.
Well, actually, didn't we have
mean.
2 deaths in the show?
Really?
Actually,
Where?
King
the Storm-
Sombra and the Storm King.
Those are not deaths.
Yeah.
One of them isn't even in the show.
Yeah.
Secondly, that wasn't a death.
Sombra actually can.
He was
be-
never alive to begin with.
Wow. I disagree. And he
This
pretty
is-
much exploded.
He wasn't even really a character, so we don't count him.
All right.
And how? I mean, you have to
Pretty
count the
comic.
movie as canon, right?
Yeah, but
I
it's
mean,
not the
they
show.
keep. Well, I'm gonna talk about it as if it's part of the.
We already
show
talked about the movie. You're
lore.
not allowed to. Sorry.
If you
No,
put
you're
together-
not.
How can you not though? Because season 8 constantly refers to it.
You're not allowed to.
You're allowed to.
But season
You're allowed
three
to talk
does it.
about the movie, if you have to. If you're talking about, yeah, don't worry, don't listen to Spone.
Right,
He's stupid.
Don't listen to me.
Wow. But dragons. What was the question? I forgot.
How did
There
they
was
do
a
it better?
question?
I think NG asked the question some minutes ago,
Well,
and then we just went off on a tangent.
It's fine.
You asked him how they did it better. That was about it.
Okay, well, I can ask a different one. So what do you think of dragon characters? So we've got the certain like good guys, as it were. We've got Ember and Smolder, who are still sort of like prideful and still in dragon ways, but they're nice people. Like they're people that can be friends with
Yeah.
ponies and stuff. You've got
Yeah, we'll ignore Spike.
yeah,
I
there's
guess.
Spike. He's basically just a pony. Like he was brought up
But there's-
pony ways. He's just
There's
a,
been
pony.
there's been a whole episode about Spike being a pony.
yeah. There's
Also, he's been a princess, but we don't talk about that.
yeah, we don't talk about that one.
And I don't know, Spike is a bit weird for me because he's like, well, I'm trying to find out who I am as a dragon, but I'm really a pony. And then at one point he mentions, oh, by the way, I remember this dragon code. And I'm like, what? If you've been raised by ponies, why do you know this weird dragon code you're talking about? And I hated that episode.
He was born with
because-
Maybe
yeah.
it's Maybelline.
It's
Exactly.
literally a meme.
But
Yeah.
as general dragon characters, I really like Ember. She's my top dragon character. she has a pretty cool design. She has a bit of an awesome personality where she's a bit rough, but she kind of wants to do good and learn how to be getting along with the other races. But she still has a bit of a hard time sometimes because she has so much of that dragon nature in her. And I like that conflict, if you can call it a conflict, or that.
It's weird to think of her as the leader of the dragons. Like, she doesn't seem like the leader
That's
of the
true.
dragons. Doesn't really give off that vibe. Not as much as Thorax
I feel
does.
like you're being a little sexist here.
No, but like, you never
Yeah,
see her
she
act
just-
like a leader, is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, no.
So
yeah.
you're saying women can act like leader?
You're trying to say that she can't act like a leader. I got you.
No, I've been backed into a corner.
Sorry.
This is a
NG.
very
But
like
just counter it
female
by saying
empowering
Celestia
show
is
anyway.
great.
Like, there's Twilight and fucking the entire Maid Six are all like female and shit. So you get you
We'll forget Princess Celestia. Sure, yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
That's
Yeah.
the sound of a man backed into a corner. It's like, shut the fuck up.
There's also like dick dragons. Like, you got Torch, which is Ember's dad.
Well, he's not really a jerk, is he?
He's just a rough, really,
Yeah, I
really
guess.
rough.
Oh god, the wording.
No. Well, you got the real dick dragons, which is like all the people that bullied Spike.
Oh god, the phrasing.
Actually, I'll have to agree. It's terrible.
You're awful to have on Spone. Why are you? A
I
co-host?
forgot the name of that red annoying dragon.
The ripped annoying dragon.
Yeah, the one who always bullies Spike.
I don't know his name either. Like, they don't. To me, they don't have names. They're just annoying bully number 7.
Garble.
Douche.
Yeah, that might be the one. Yeah.
Gob. I think that's one of them.
Yeah, I think that's the red annoying dragon.
I'll believe that.
Oh my god, Suki
Good
got it.
enough.
All right.
And
It's good-
yeah,
It's good
he's
to see
like,
that some people listen
wasn't
to
he
the
like
podcast.
the first dragon aside from Spike that we? No, actually, no. It's the big dragon that they have to confront because he's smoking up Ponyville, isn't it?
just smoking the big
Yeah,
kush.
that's why I put Dragon second, because there's season 1 episode 7. Also, Spone, so what are you saying?
Yeah.
I was saying that the dragon was just smoking dank kush. That was it. I didn't have anything quality to add to the conversation.
But that's like, dragons are a bit confusing to me in this show because they are so different. I mean, they range from Spike to Torch, and then you have everything in between those. I mean, you have like
Almost
kind
like
of
real
small
people.
dragons, and then you have huge dragons. And is the only difference between those how old they are, or is there like
They
Probably
grow.
genetics.
Actually, what was the episode where Spike started hoarding stuff and
Yeah, he hoarded a bunch
grew
of shit and he got
large?
real big.
Yeah, they grow with the hoard they have. So the bigger dragons, as they get older, they like amass more and more treasure, and they're growing with it. So the biggest and the most influential, the most rich dragons are the largest, usually dragon lords. That's what age.
Reminder
That's why
that
Spike hasn't grown. Like he's got on his wings. He did he get larger with that?
I don't think
Can
so.
recall.
I think
I
don't
think
it
think
he
seems
did
to
a little
assume that
bit.
like size is related to greed, but you still get your
can
wings.
we have a reminder that the show is very much communist propaganda and it's just telling us that capitalism's bad and the more greedy you get, you become evil and big.
Yeah.
There you
I'm
go.
not sure that's how propaganda works.
That's exactly
How do we
the
always
show works.
find some form of communist propaganda in the show every podcast? Like,
Because it is.
because
way,
you're
in-
really, really looking for it, I guess.
You're really looking for it.
But it reminds me of the episode QT map.
what about it?
Yeah, what a,
It was-
you
it
can't
was-
just leave us with that.
Have you seen the episode?
No, I've never seen that
Well, yeah,
episode.
of
I
course
definitely
we
don't
have.
watch every episode.
Oh
think
yeah,
all-
understandable.
Have all 4 of us here seen like every fucking episode?
I've seen every
Yes.
episode.
Yeah, there we go. We're all
Uh,
nerds.
no. I haven't seen which one was it. The parent map.
Wow.
I haven't seen it fully
Oh, no.
You
because
were on the parent
my internet was
podcast and
really
you
really
didn't see that.
laggy.
Oh, that's not good. Now, when you're in those really awkward groups and someone goes, "Tell us an interesting fact about yourself," you can't go, "I have seen every episode of 8 seasons of My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic," and you can't get the looks on their faces. You can't do that anymore.
I have read every comic of the MLP franchise.
That's not something you should be bragging about.
It's not something you should be, but it's something you do anyway.
So dragons.
Dragons, yes, that's what we're talking about.
I got nothing left
Dragons.
to say about them.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought we had a topic.
If anyone, okay, so we can move on to Spone and Fizz's favorite topic.
Spone and Fizzes. That's the new. That's a new one.
Yeah,
I
it's just
I
new-
love
new
that
race.
race.
Officially endorsed by EQD.
Changelings.
I mean,
Yes.
technically, you're not wrong. They could totally become a
Changelings.
Fizzban.
They could easily become Fizzban and Spone.
Indeed.
Maybe they
Or
are.
maybe we are. Yeah, Spirit beat me to it. Damn it.
Yeah. What do you know? We just saw Fizz at Galacon, but does it really mean anything?
You don't know.
It's all just a dream.
It's all just a dream.
Wake up, your family needs you.
Princess Luna is just trolling.
Get fucked.
All right, so
Okay,
we can talk about the
Consent podcast.
pre-gay and post-gay.
Pre-game.
So they're obviously
post-game.
post-gay right now. They have embraced love and they share love in between themselves and with other races, and that's how they live now, I guess.
And it's consensual.
And it's consensual. We've obviously got a student, Oculus. We've got the leader. We got Thorax. We got the Edgelord. We got Pharynx. And we've got the unreformed queen. So we still got Chrysalis chilling around the place somewhere, doing some shifty business. And maybe he has some more unreformed ones. And then we obviously got pre-season 6. We had all the unreformed changelings that Fizzban likes.
Yes.
So, I'll throw this to Fizz first then, since changelings were your favourite race.
All right.
What do you like about them? What do you like about their progression through the show? And what do you like about the 3 biggest good changelings and the 1 evil one? Answer
That's a lot
any
of
of them
questions
that
all
you
at
want
once.
to. I just throw questions at you, so then you can go, "Oh yeah, that's one I actually have an opinion for," and then you can answer that. So just
It's like, I have all these topics. I hope you catch one of them. Here's the bunch.
yes, basically,
Here's all of them at once.
go.
All right. So the first thing about the changeling is the aesthetic of them. The old school changelings looked cool and actually kind of intimidating, and they looked like proper villains. And the new changelings look like a mess of colors and weird things.
Unique. Cough, cough.
Unique.
Yeah,
Look at him. He's so
I mean-
happy. Look at him prancing.
it's true. I mean,
You can live
Thorax
like that.
has grown on me with his personality. It's kind of great. But that's what I like about where they are now. It's not, I mean, how they look, they used to look cooler, and I think they look a bit
They
too colorful now
they did
for
look
my
cooler.
taste.
They did look cooler. That is definitely it.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you guys talking
But
about?
I think
they all look the same.
as a society and as a race, they are still very interesting, and you can still do a lot with them. But it's not like
Oh
What the
no,
heck?
his robotic
no.
side is showing.
all I see now is a dancing
changeling.
changeling.
The
And
circa trip.
It's very hypnotizing, actually.
It's alright. It's alright. Yeah, you broke up for a little
Nah.
bit and you started sounded like really robotic, but you're back. You're back. Hello, Fizz.
He's a changeling.
Nice.
This is the changeling side showing.
Well, I started looking at the dancing changeling someone linked, and it was like,
Yeah, the dancing changing all those. Okay.
Dancing changeling only
Clean
17.
dancing.
Stop.
I have no idea what I was about to say.
Something.
What was the last thing you heard?
Something about how you don't like the gay bug horses, but you like the ones that are copy pasted.
Yeah, exactly. Because, well, that's the aesthetic of it. I mean, um, as for their personalities and their society, I think that is actually been improved in the show. That is better now than it used to be. Because as a race before, they were supposed to be like these shape-changing infiltrators, and every time they tried to impersonate someone, I think they did a rather terrible job of it. I mean, they fooled no one.
Yeah.
Except the entire royal crowd.
Yeah,
The
except for a lot
Yeah.
of people.
That was Chrysalis though. Like Chrysalis was
So-
the only good one, and then the others are just like.
Yeah, but in the season 2 finale, that was good. That was proper. Chrysalis actually played a convincing changeling that would like deceive and fool everyone. But
She has
in
all the
the
brains.
episodes,
Season 6 finale.
in the future episodes, yeah, and the future episodes, it's like when you see someone who's actually a changeling, you see right through it straight away, and you wonder like, why doesn't anyone else see
But,
through
like,
this? Because it's
In
like,
the season 6 finale, everyone in Ponyville was a changeling, so I don't even know why they were pretending to be
true.
changelings anymore. Like,
I suppose you could argue that at that point they know that they have taken over so many that they just don't really care about putting up the masquerade anymore.
yeah.
Maybe they really like role playing.
I mean, that would be a changeling favorite pastime hobby, wouldn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah, basically all the people in the RP channel are changelings.
They are role playing.
All the LARPers are just actual changelings IRL.
Can you like imagine Celestia just kind of walking into a room and you see like a bunch of changelings and one of them roleplays as her and she's like awkward and just slowly backs out?
Um,
Yeah, that's just its favorite pastime is role playing as their leader. Their favorite thing to do.
I mean, as a changeling, it'd be pretty entertaining to fuck with people, wouldn't it?
Phrasing.
Said fuck
Oh, dear.
with people. No, that's still not good. Yeah.
Mess with people.
It's still not
Mess
good.
with people.
Mess with people. Exactly. I mean, that's still
Yes.
kind of. I don't think there's a way you can read it, really. It's still
I prefer.
good to
but
pull
that
pranks
would
on
be-
people.
I
Well,
mean,
it's
come
not
on.
28
You
pranks
need to
later.
have like an episode with like the changeling prankster who just goes around messing with everyone. That would be a great episode.
It would be a fun filler. I won't lie. If they did it right, it would be a fun filler.
Yeah, but you need to come up with some solid plot around it.
As for Chrysalis, I like the fact that she stays a villain because we need to have a recurring villain in the show that is not redeemed.
Yes. She is one of the few people who aren't just like part of the Reformation Brigade.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, real time though. If you were a villain in this world and you just got your ass beat by colorful horses, I think that you would kind of be like, yeah, okay, we can be friends, just don't kill me.
Yeah, I guess they're
Because
super
like,
powerful.
what is the other option? The other option is like get turned to stone for 1,000 years or something. Like, yep, okay,
Go to
well,
hell
that's a
for
fun option.
1,000
That's
years.
that's the
Go to hell, sit in a cage for 1,000.
yeah, that's
Live in
a
exile.
better option. The worst is just fucking turn into stone and shut
Your
him.
options are make friends, or just die.
I like that. Like in 1,000 years, Alessia's gonna be. Oh, it's that time again. Everyone's gonna be. Everyone's gonna break free. All the villains. We're gonna see them again, and I'm gonna have to find like new people to go beat them up because I'm
just-
too fed up with this.
Fucking mark the day in the calendar.
Yeah.
Just okay, imprisoning this one. Let's mark the next 1,000 years.
Yeah, you only get.
Alexa, remind me in 1,000 years.
This is so sad.
Yeah. But I don't know. In the Mean Six, like the latest Chrysalis episode we had, I don't know if I really liked her too much. I think maybe I kind of do, maybe I kind of don't. I can't decide whether I think that I like she's not as smart as she used to be.
I think she was just
Or-
desperate because like she doesn't
Yeah,
fucking have
that's-
anything anymore.
Exactly. That's the other
Yeah.
side of it. It might be because she's desperate and she doesn't have like the influence she's used to.
I mean, to be fair, if you lost your entire army and it was just you, you'd kind of be like, well, shit, now
I
what?
assume she had some left.
If you lost your entire army to 6 colorful horses,
Yeah,
you
you
know
lose
she
your
would
entire
have.
army. No, it's not even 6.
Yeah, it was
Lost of fucking
Thorax.
Starlight.
Well, it was only one
And
horse.
then you,
No,
you
two.
see,
It was
you
Starlight.
see your entire race turn into this colorful, weird mess of a thing, and you just go like, nope,
Well, fuck.
that's not happening.
Reformed Chrysalis would look ugly as fuck. Yeah.
Hey, you don't know that.
I don't
Actually,
ever want to see that.
I've seen some artworks of like a cannon that Chrysalis was actually poisoned. She was like,
Poisoned? What?
yeah, I see some headcanons and artworks of Chrysalis being like
There's too many
some
head
colorful
cannons.
bug, and she was like poisoned and destroyed by something. People did not really bother explaining what the force was, what she was turned into, what she is, which was later, seasons later, supported by the fact they turned back to something colorful. Yeah, but... and there's been some good artwork. I'm just reacting to you guys saying you wouldn't
There's
like
been
it.
some good art.
But yeah, I think that's what I have to say about the changelings now and the changelings back then.
All right. So, what do people think about the changeling future, Ocelus?
Ocellus.
Ocelus.
Is
Ocelus.
Is that the only changeling feature we have
the
there?
only
Yeah,
changeling
that's it.
future
That's
we've
the only
seen?
one.
Chrysalis has escaped. Chrysalis has vanished without a trace. She wasn't
Doesn't count, sorry.
captured. Well, what's
She's
her
dead
title?
now.
What's her title?
Changeling bitch.
Queen of fucking nothing now.
Yeah.
You almost got it. She's a queen. What do
Fucking a bitch is the same thing.
do
Oh,
in back communities like queen bee?
Just get pregnant and make 1,000 babies. Easy days, new hive.
Oh god,
Precisely.
Spirit, please don't. Spirit,
No,
we
no,
don't want
no.
your headcanon here. You keep that out
No,
of here.
I seriously meaning that she could possibly set up a new hive that the
Okay,
old
Spirit, we don't
changelings
wanna-
can easily
We
return.
don't wanna hear about it.
Yeah. All right. So
Spirit's over here with this
I
headcanon,
mean-
like, hey, she can make
I
babies.
think
And it's like...
I'm happy to
Well,
call the changeling discussion here if we want. So, I mean, we've already done the changeling podcast, I guess. Anyway.
Yeah, thanks, Trooper.
Uh,
Guys, check out the chat.
Yeah. It's.
yeah, and I found myself looking at that, and I
But that's
thought
reformed.
I actually don't hate it.
That's reformed. That's reformed. This imagination of what she would look like reformed.
Yeah,
There's
And
been
I
a
think
lot of
what-
art like pre-destruction, pre-poison or something. Also, it's Jaded Jinx, so that's insurance should be good.
I actually don't hate that. It's actually good.
There we go.
I
Just
don't
like
hate
that,
that.
Fizz is okay with Chrysalis reforming.
He's finally okay.
Yeah.
with the gay bug horses.
No, I still prefer her as a villain because we need proper villains in this show still.
All right.
And actually, I think we haven't seen the last of Chrysalis. It would be weird if she never
Yeah, it
returned.
would be very weird. I imagine.
With a hive?
We'll see more.
Man, it'd be unfortunate if, like, season 9 was the last one and they didn't have time to write her another episode.
Yeah.
That'd be a shame.
That would be unfortunate.
That'd be
Well, what do
really
you know? Maybe
unfortunate.
we'll get a season 10.
Oh,
Maybe.
there you
Ooh.
We can only hope.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
go. NG, I gotta ask why you had all these good characters and then you want to talk about Yaks?
It's in order of appearance in the show.
Wow.
So
I'm pretty sure Yaks showed up, like... No, maybe not. I guess.
Yaks showed up
Yeah, they
season
showed up in
5.
like, was it season 6? 5?
5, yeah.
It did take him a while to show up.
Was in the Party Pooper episode, wasn't it?
Yeah, I want to talk about
Something like
Gak.
that.
Can we talk about Gak as my favorite race?
Gak is
No.
back. If you guys have not heard, go to gakisback.com for some official Gak is back merchandise. And
Use the promo code.
if you use promo code NGnir,
First
28.
200 viewers.
the first 200 people get 20% off, and it helps support me in my dream of becoming
20%
a full-time
Professional
YouTuber, professional podcaster.
Fortnite.
And
You know-
if you can do that and
you know
help
you have
support
to
me,
put-
that would be much appreciated. I also have
And you know you have
a
to
patron and
Now put content sponsored
PayPal.
content.
Um,
Content sponsored segment is the thing you have to put out on YouTube now.
yeah, that's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just let me handle that. Let me handle that. All right. Now actual, races. Yaks.
Race.
Yak Smash.
Mm.
So they haven't been in it for too long, and they are probably one of the least interesting races of the students.
Correct.
The character itself, Yona, is fucking great. I love Yona. Yona is one of the best students. I think she's like adorable. I love her a lot. She's a fantastic addition to the show. But the race itself, kind of trash. Not trash. Just it hasn't had much development. So they're one of the most primitive sentient races we've ever seen. Ignoring those weird early discussions about cows and shit. We're not talking about that anymore. They're with their primitiveness, I guess only comparable to buffaloes maybe. They're also very aggressive with the whole yak smash thing.
Yeah.
And they don't have too many significant characters either. We've got Prince Rutherford, who's obviously had some relationship with Pinkie Pie, and Yona, who everyone loves. And if you don't love Yona, you're just an evil person. But I guess, what do people think of Yaks, if anything, really? Because you guys might not have very strong opinions on Yaks. Just feel free to speak up if you do.
Yaks are great, man. They're a whole
Yaks
new
are
culture.
terrible. Sorry, Yaks are terrible.
Okay, we got some conflicting things here. Okay, so Fizz first. Why are Yaks terrible?
Alright, the very first episode we're introduced to them. I mean, the ponies are trying to be like friendly and all, and the Yaks are just like, I'm going to smash everything. I swear, if I had guests over and they acted like that, it's like, get the fudge out. I mean, holy heck.
I like how they're always like, alright, we go to war, and there's literally like 20 of them, and the ponies could just like wipe them out with unicorn magic in like a snap of
He's
fingers.
just
Yes.
vaporized into
But
dust.
having said that, I don't like all the yak smash thing. That's kind of please stop.
Oh, it's great. But yeah, fair enough.
I think Yona is pretty cute, to be honest. Yona's great. She's alright.
Yona is great. Fizzban 2018.
Yes.
I think.
I'll stand by
Does
that.
anyone here not like Yona, for clarification? Any three of us?
At first, I didn't like her at first because she was a fucking idiot, but now she's less of a fucking idiot. So
Oh, the Rockhuff episode just warmed my heart so much.
yeah, I liked her in the Rockhoof episode,
Yeah.
and that's what made me think that maybe she's not such a fucking idiot.
It was so yeah, it was nice. It was nice. Okay. Spirit, why do you like Yaks?
I mean, they're completely different culture, shown in a different color. Like, not everyone is like ponies, and not the only thing you're changing around is like shifting a slider from good to bad. So dragons are basically ponies, except they're bad. Griffons are basically ponies, except you shift the slider to the middle
Dragons
instead
are
of all the-
basically ponies. Can
I don't agree, but okay.
I
I think
mean,
it's
like-
another like different culture thing. They're not really comparable. It's not really ponies, but yeah, I get what you're going for. I get what you're going for. It's nice
No,
to have
so
the
you
different
mean-
cultures.
Yaks are something completely else. They aren't good or bad compared to horses. They're just different. There is
Maybe the dragons aren't good or bad, and they're just different.
No, they have the same qualities except the bad ones. Like same kind of qualities as horses. Like where horses are generous, the dragons are greedy. When the horses are like humble or honest,
You're just
they're
naming elements.
And for
Prideful.
yaks, rather than smart, the yaks are fucking dumb.
They smash.
Got it.
it's not dumb.
They're okay,
This
fine.
is-
Rather than peaceful, they're aggressive. Is that better?
No, they weren't aggressive outright.
Dude,
They
they're
were just
incredibly
different
aggressive to
How are they
anyone who's
not
not
aggressive?
yaks.
It's like, I will smash all your stuff, and I don't like you, and I want to declare war.
You've insulted me. I'm going to declare war on ponies that control the fucking like celestial bodies.
Like, goddamn it, Spawn, I would declare war on you if you insulted me.
I think you have a lot in common.
No, I did.
Spirit confirmed for Yak.
Spirit is
Basically, the shift not on a line, but into a plane somewhere else. Between the good and bad, they're going like the third direction, completely elsewhere.
third
So
direction. It's not good or bad. We've gone into this unknown yak territory.
I know the Yaks. And they're just they live in a different part of the world. They have to deal with different problems. But they have shown that despite that, there's something good to them, like the Yakita sex, where they motivated Pinky and liked her play despite it being literal ear rape.
Yeah.
Ooh, I actually didn't like that episode.
Yeah, it was.
It
That
was-
was mostly because of Pinky. I think her reaction was a bit too extreme.
Agreed.
That's
Yeah.
kind of Pinkie Pie in
Tell-
general, though, isn't it?
Yeah, tell me something about her that isn't extreme. Like,
It's just she's had
It's
like
like
let down. Like even with Dash not eating her pies, she didn't go into like a manic depressive episode. Meanwhile, friends tell her, "Hey, could you not play that? You're not really good at it." And then just suddenly, depression.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
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 Thank you. You got no
I mean, I
argument's
get that
good.
Pinky is extreme, but it's also like I don't know. It just didn't feel very Pinkie Pie.
Yeah, it
I mean,
wasn't
it was
very-
too much.
It was not consistent with like the rest of her character, where she's like not usually that extreme, and then suddenly like, oh, I can't play my instrument.
I mean, it must be a hard character to write properly.
Probably.
She's
Which
sad
which
that
season was it?
she can't express her love of the Yaks. I like that Pinkie
Was it
Pie is like
season-
the liaison of the Yaks, though. I do like that.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I actually did not like Pinkie Pie at all around season 5, was
Nobody
it?
does. Nobody likes
Because
Pinky up
she
until,
was outright cruel and like outright insensitive
To who?
to others. I think
mean
she was
Twilight?
really mean to Fluttershy one time and she
think you mean
completely
Twilight.
missed the point. I can't recall which episode or season that was. It was somewhere
happened?
around middle.
This is my wifey you're insulting here. Come on, fam. Let's.
I'm not.
He's
I-
actually
I'm
referencing
saying-
the comics right now.
No, it's not.
No, it was. Yeah, Fluttershy is like really nervous about something, and Pinkie
Talking about
Pie
Philly
just makes
Vanilli.
it so much worse.
Ponytones.
Which episode was that? Fizz? Help me. Anyway,
The chat says Philly Vanilli.
Yeah,
the chat.
Philly Vanilla. I said Philly
Yeah,
Vanilla.
Phil Vanilli. So season 4.
When Rarity, yeah, season 4, when Rarity like smacks Pinkie Pie on the head and goes like, "Pinkie Pie, don't be ridiculous." Oh, but I'm so good at it.
Yeah, she was outright just insensitive. She could not see she's hurting the other person.
That's
And
hilarious,
I'm just
though.
saying the character must be really
To be
hard to
fair,
write. So
I think that I can.
But
relate.
actually, pairing Pinkie Pie up in episodes where the Yaks are in, because she's like the ambassador for them, actually works out really well for me, because I don't like the Yaks very much, but I do like Pinkie Pie. And so the episodes are actually kind of alright for me, even though I don't like the
like
Yaks.
mod episodes.
That's like it sounded like a mod
Yeah,
quote though. Like,
that's probably why they
But
made
what about Maud?
What about mod? We don't need to get into that. I've already shat on mod.
oh yeah,
What a
Spone
grade.
really
Yeah,
does not like.
Troopers get it. Troopers
I
on
had to
point with all
I
those
had to
gifs.
fit it in somewhere. I'm sorry.
Alright,
Mm.
so
Oh, and whilst we're on that topic,
think
Science
that's
she's
it.
bad.
So to wrap the topic up, Yaks are great. Okay, next.
what? No, that's not the
No, that's
conclusion
the
at all.
conclusion. Okay,
Wait,
to
I
wrap
had
that topic
I
up,
had, like,
Yona is great.
One sentence. I have one sentence.
Yona
Okay,
is
Spone?
definitely great. we
Sorry.
can-
The Yaks would be better if they weren't so fucking intolerable of everything else.
They're better now though, aren't they?
They're little.
Especially with
Kind of,
Yona. Especially Yona. Yona is a very
Yeah, Yona's-
multicultural child.
Yes.
To be
Yes.
fair, they all are.
True.
Also, Rainbow Dash sucks. We didn't get in the Rainbow Dash sucks yet. So,
Yeah.
No, there'll be a place where with Breezies one there.
oh yeah.
Okay, so now we can get on to the best race of the best characters, with
Breezies?
the best home.
Exactly.
They
But we already talked about the changelings.
no, they have the best like home turf. They're the cutest. They're
The Breezies.
Got really nice characters with
Zebras?
The Breezies.
Goats?
Deer. It's deer. I know you
It's
were.
definitely deer.
Surprise, please.
Is it like Iron Will people, like the fucking ox people?
Minotaurs?
Minotaurs.
So chimeras. What do we?
Chimeras? Yeah.
Hippogriffs. Hippogriffs. What do we like about hippogriffs? They've only been it for a season and a movie. They have not been in it for very long, but we've already had Skystar. They couldn't afford Skystar for the season, so we had budget Skystar. We had Silver Screen.
Budget Skystar, my
Silver
favorite.
Stream. Silver
Silver
Screen
Screen.
sounds like a transformer.
Silver Scream. Transformer. Star Scream, my favorite.
We've got Silver Stream, who's a hecking cutie, and then we've got like the other dudes, like in Silver Stream's cousin in the Surf Andal 10th episode. We got the dude who's the Queen Novo's
The dude
Navy
who's the queen.
admiral.
Novo.
We've got Queen Novo.
Whoa.
And
The
King.
dude who's the queen. NG, what kind of
Yeah.
Dude
shit?
who's the Queen's Navy's admiral.
Okay, there we go.
That's what I said. I just said the last half quieter than the rest of it.
Yeah, guys, just listen to him, please.
He needs to
Terrible
turn himself
working
up more.
conditions.
He needs to be much louder.
All right. So, didn't we already talk about hippogriffs? We didn't talk about hippogriffs, did we?
We talked about him when you said that they're your favorite at the beginning. We haven't talked about him
Yeah,
yet, though.
yeah,
I think that's enough for it. For
Exactly.
the topic.
Exactly. Get fucked.
Hey, NG.
Alkanon.
NG, if you love them so much, what's so great about them?
It'll be easier to say what's not great about them.
Alright, what's not great about them?
Nothing.
Alright, well, what's great about them?
Everything.
Everything.
So, first of all, their design is amazing. They've got like
Mm-hmm.
fluff, but it's feathers, and that's
Oh.
adorable. I really like their just everything about their design, from like the front claws to the back claws to the ears.
How about the
beak.
beak with the teeth? How does that make you feel?
We don't talk about the frames so we can see the teeth. We don't talk about those
How
frames.
about the beaks with the teeth? How does that make you feel, NG?
It makes me feel like
Uncomfortable?
it's a thing. It's a thing in the show.
Uncomfortable is the word you're looking for.
You're not wrong. You're not
Mm.
wrong.
You're not, thank you. So everything about their design?
Apart from the
Aroused?
beak teeth, that's an oversight. It's an animation error. Every time we see it, it's just an animation error.
Animation error.
We don't need to worry about animation errors. Does Fluttershy have like 8 eyes at some points? Is Rarity and Alicorn at some points in the show? No, animation errors. We don't talk about animation errors, Spone. All right.
It's not an animation
Why
error
do
if
they
it
have a
keeps
navy?
happening.
That is a great question. They have a navy because they like being
Reasons.
hippogriffs, and they like.
They fight water demons, which don't really
Yeah,
exist, but we pretend they
Why
do.
do we have tanks? We can walk on land. Why did we invent fucking T90s
case.
and shit? You know?
KV2. KV2.
Exactly. To carry their cannons. Aldous has got it. What else do I like about them? I like the characters. I don't think I've met a single hippogriff who I dislike. They're
I like the one from the Cutie Mark Crusader episode that got to meet Petunia.
yeah. He was good until
I
he met
don't remember
Petunia, but
this.
then everyone meets Petunia
yeah,
eventually.
he'll never be back. All the CMC, they
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 just
will
never
be
meet them
same
back.
thing.
Yeah, it's how they. Yeah.
yeah.
You know, like in Steam, when a game gets released and it gets 5 stars, and then it no longer gets updated, and then the reviews slowly drop. The CMC go for that initial 5 stars, and they kill them off so that the reviews can't drop.
Perfect. They remove it from Steam after a while.
The Mount Eris is just absolutely beautiful. It's like one of my favorite locations in the show, and I wish we could see more of it. It's an amazing.
It's a really
place.
tall rock.
Harmonizing heights.
It's a really tall rock.
I like how just kind of happy they are. They seem to just work as a race. They're just kind of
So
like
you
ponies.
like Pinkie Pie.
Yeah. I like how many Pinkie
Okay.
Pies they have.
I like the Pinkie Pie clones because they're all happy.
Exactly. I don't know. There's just too much I like about them. Silverstream is a big reason to like them, and Skystar.
Starscream, yeah, my favorite.
Exactly. Instead of transforming between a plane and a robot, it's between a sea pony and a hippogriff. It's basically the
It's really
same.
the same
Yeah.
thing. It's almost like they're written by like similar
Similar.
companies here.
Exactly. It's just uncanny, isn't it?
I like how happy they are that they seem to be working together as a race. Yeah, that is fucking communist propaganda. NG, come on now.
All right. Well, who doesn't like? Does anyone here not like hippogriffs?
I don't like their design. It makes me uncomfortable to look at.
Is it because of the teeth? And
It's
only
because
the-
they have like the feet and then the hands with claws.
I like it.
They got
Oh,
like, weird
like,
hand
they-
claw,
It's
and
a-
they got teeth with their beak, and then their ears have like weird feathers,
Okay,
and then they're not
teeth
ears.
beaks are weird. The ear feathers, I think they're fine. I think they look.
If you get like a frontal
Hey.
view on them, they also look weird, and like their face has a weird shape to it.
Yeah, but everyone looks weird. Front. Even the
Spawn-
ponies
Spawn,
look
I-
weird in front of you.
Spawn, I got something for you. Look at those feet.
That's much better, thank you.
That's literally the design.
Yeah, but it looks weird when it's tacked onto something not that spirit. It's like saying, look at a human foot. Now let's put it on a horse.
It's
Thank you for that mental picture. I didn't need that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now you have to picture fucking MLP horses, but with human feet.
yeah.
No, no, I'm gonna have nightmares.
It's
about
like reverse anthro. You're welcome.
that.
Perfect.
Oh dear.
Perfect.
Let me just.
Sorry, not sorry.
But no, actually, about the hippogriffs and the sea ponies, I think their designs are solid. I mean, they really are.
They are.
The big teeth, sure, it's weird. I
The
don't
big
really.
teeth.
But it's an we don't just let's stop talking about animation here, guys. We don't need to talk about that. Let's
But
not focus on
everything else, I really like it.
I
And
just
also, I
like,
think the sea ponies are like decorated with all kinds of like sea themed decorations, like pearls and shells and all that.
I do like the
Kinda
sea
neat.
theme. That is cool.
That's
That looks
kinda
like an animation error. No, but like I don't like one of the things I disliked about them is that they look very similar.
No.
Oh my
Spirit, why would you do that? That is terrible on so many levels.
Oh no.
biggest thing for hippogriffs that I dislike is that they remind me way too much of griffins. It's like they just changed like a little bit. It's like don't copy my homework, and then like they copied the homework and changed a little bit.
But they're not as much of you can't say that word as griffins.
Still, yeah,
I-
they look really similar. Is my issue, especially when you see like Gallus and fucking Silverstream like together. You're
But
like,
they're-
oh yeah, they look almost exactly the same.
They're both kind of burbs,
They're
yeah, but
both-
there's nothing wrong with that. Sorry, Spirit, I'm interrupting you. Guys.
Wow, it is a bird in it. It's all the same. Like it's all the same like Pegasi. Everything just has wings. Oh my god. It's two different like mythologies. It's different
Yes,
mythological
well, yeah,
creatures.
yeah, two different. It's like saying, oh
It's-
yeah, you see this cow looks like not the same as a horse. Like, yeah, they got a little bit of difference, but like, yeah, if you put them right next to each other, like, yeah, they got pretty similar builds here.
But like
I
one's
mean,
half lion, the other one's half pony. It's like saying
Yeah, but if you put them like they should be more starkly different if they're both like half something else, and then you look at them and you're like, they look like they're like 95% the same.
yeah, one's way
because they
cuter.
both have eagle in them.
Oh, so
they both
there's
have eagle power.
95% eagle, 5% whatever else they are. Got it.
Oh,
That's what I mean.
I can't argue with that.
They don't look like starkly different for being 50% different animals.
maybe.
They kind of do.
We can't
Griffons
fight it
don't have
anymore.
manes. Hippogriffs have manes for starters.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
Griffins don't have
They
manes.
do have manes.
and the front legs with claws are really
Instead
different.
of paw, hands, yeah. Little different there.
Tails.
And tails. There you go.
Real legs are different. Lions have eagle. Lions have lion. Griffons have lion legs, the rear legs, and hippogriffs have horses.
Do they have horseback legs? I never pay attention to their back legs. I'm too
I think
busy
they
looking at
do.
their weird front
They
legs.
should have, from what I know.
I have to
think they
check.
do.
I want to know what their back
Yeah,
legs look
That's
like.
a horseback.
Yeah, they have.
Well, you can just look in
that's a
chat.
horse
And
leg.
look at the cute little
With glove and
fluff on
hooves.
like the back of their legs.
Yeah,
That's
and
I do
and
like the
glove
fluff.
and hooves
I
is
do like the fluff they put on.
And the wing design. The
the
wing
glove
design
and
is
hooves
great.
is a bonus.
Their hands look like little monkey paws though, and I can't get over that.
But so they can grab.
I actually think it's
things.
fine.
Has anyone got that GIF of Silverstream hitting the bucket? I need that GIF. If someone could post that in voice, that would be much appreciated.
Fucking smash.
Yeah. That was just too cute. That was just fucking. That was too cute.
She's just playing the
Yeah.
fucking bongos on a bucket.
Yeah.
Remind me back of like Donkey Kong bongo controls.
And that's another thing about this race. It's like they are super cute, whether they are hippogriffs or sea ponies. It's like it might just be Silverstream and Skystar, but they are like super cute.
Them and Trooper beat me to it.
They just make them cute so that people like them.
So, basically, what's the best thing about Hippogriffs? Silverstream.
Yeah,
Yeah.
can't argue with that. It's like best thing about Yaks, Yona.
Yeah.
Best thing about Griffons,
Gallus.
Gallus.
Best thing about ponies, though.
Definitely
Pinkie Pie.
not Sandbar.
You
sorry.
wouldn't say OC, so
Actually, about the hippogriffs and the sea ponies, aside from having some very solid characters, I also like their history. Like
Yeah.
how they used to be this proud race living up in Mount Eris, and then the Storm King came and pretty much beat them to the point where they had to flee underwater and become an entirely different race.
To be
That's
fair,
pretty interesting.
they're not very like prideful and like big if they just let the Storm King fucking walk
I
all
mean,
over them.
the
Do you see how
Storm
much
King
of
is
a
kind
pushover
of
he
scary.
was?
Like,
I mean,
He didn't have. He was just kind of a pushover. Like, oh, what do you do?
all them.
but in like episode 22, you see how like fucking like Silverstream is usually just the jolly, happy one, and then you see how like deadly afraid
Someone
of the
remove
Storm
the
King she
gun.
is, and it's like
It's
such
like
a
she
stark
has fears.
contrast to how she usually is, and it just kind of shows how like the PTSD can just sort of come out, you know?
Also, boom, we
Yeah.
have an answer for why they have a navy now.
What? Because the cannons? Or
Storm King. There you go.
why does?
They're afraid. They're afraid, so they have an army and a navy,
True.
waiting for the Storm King to come back, even though he's fucking wrecked.
But for like how little they've been in the show, they have a surprisingly good backstory.
Yeah,
They have an okay backstory.
I
It's
actually
mostly
I like it a lot.
afraid, hide, come back.
But no, it was proud, oppressed,
Proud, oppressed.
recovering.
Where's the oppression?
The oppression is getting fucking driven underground because you didn't want to be a slave to the Storm King.
I don't think that's oppression. I think that's hiding.
I mean,
It's not like the Storm King came in. He's like, I'm taking away your rights now. You're not allowed to vote anymore. Sorry.
Well, I guess the point is that they were beaten and defeated and had to
Yeah.
flee.
Get fucking wrecked. That's what you get for being
sad.
prideful.
They're too cute. They didn't deserve it. That said,
Yeah.
is there anything else to be said?
And then they just sort of hide away from the world, like Chad says, they were isolationists, so they kind of have to rediscover the world as it is now and interact with other species again. And that makes for some interesting things, like Silverstream with the stairs and like, oh look, it's a book about plumbing or whatever she's like, and that's
Yeah.
like, so, it's
Book
so many
about
cute
plumbing.
things. Yeah.
Reminder that Mount Eris had stairs. A lot of them.
Yeah, we don't worry about that.
Yeah. But Sequestria didn't.
Yeah,
guess.
but like
And they-
she was the hippogriff.
True. So she
Stairs.
probably shouldn't have
Stairs.
been that surprised about stairs.
Maybe
but-
she went straight
Surprise.
from Sequestria to the School of Friendship. You never know.
Straight out.
Yeah.
You don't even get to visit this
And
wonderful
then
place.
they
that
called it
everybody loves.
something else. No, it wasn't recovered properly. They did the recovery operation and the restoration
First,
during the first semester.
yeah, maybe they haven't moved in yet.
Hmm?
Maybe they haven't moved in yet.
Exactly.
Just
Twilight just came back, just like, yo, I'm opening School of Friendship. Anyone, any Griffon want to come with me? And
Yeah, we'll take this one that's only been in the water.
Yeah, no, because we're currently rebuilding Mount Eris. We're having some tough times in our
We removed all
marriage.
stairs,
We
by the
need
way.
you can take our kid to your boarding school. Exactly.
I just found the stairs gag, like, I guess it was a little funny, but also it was like, that's a little dumb as well.
It's kind of a forced meme, but
It's like she walks in, she's like, oh my god, dirt! I haven't seen this forever. It's like, it's fucking dirt. It's everywhere. Come on now.
you're not wrong. You're not wrong. All right.
Hey, let's talk about Breezies.
All right, we can talk about Breezies.
People wanted us to talk about
This
Breezies.
ain't on my list, but so you take the rice, Spone.
You
Well,
forgot
there
about
are two
Breezies.
things that aren't on your list also.
Yeah, you have zebras as well. We'll talk about zebras as well.
Yeah.
But
In the-
Breezies, they're little shitty bugs that can't do fucking anything right.
Yeah.
because of
Yeah,
wind.
Because of
blows.
wind, their greatest enemy is a fucking strong breeze.
Yeah.
That's why they're called Breezies. Do you even recall the episode that well? Because
Yeah, the
it's-
one where they got knocked out of the air by a strong breeze.
Yeah, but it's been years since I saw it.
They
It's
got,
I have many problems with this episode.
Someone flapped their wings too hard and they fucking just eradicated half their species.
Yeah, and the species like live at the other end of a portal that only opens sometimes, and for some reason they have to go out in the Equestria world to do something. I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't
what.
remember what.
Yeah. They're like the pandas of, their
The
world.
pandas of Equestria.
They just suck and we have to actively try to keep them alive.
Just the sentient species have to actively try to make them survive.
They want to die and they are actively being kept alive.
No, they want. They're just unable to not.
So reminder,
We just need that
Breezies are
the
fucking
leader
awesome.
Breezy to like say, "Don't you get it, laddie? We want to die."
pretty much, yeah. That's their whole point.
Just the pandas.
They're fucking awful.
Yeah.
And also at the end, it was like, "Oh hey, now the main stakes are Breezies. Buy our toys."
The title of the episode was "It Ain't Easy Being Breezies."
certainly
Well,
isn't.
You're not wrong.
It certainly is not.
They were dumb. Their design was okay. Their high-pitched voices were fucking awful.
The main Sixers
Um,
Breezies looked awful, and I'm glad
Yeah,
no one latched
Breezies
onto
are
that.
Yeah, they have looked worse than that one time.
Rainbow Power.
Yes,
Yeah,
that
got
was so terrible.
it. Got it.
Oh, I hated that.
You're welcome.
No, the main six Breezies was pretty cool.
But yeah, Breezies don't do anything. They don't do shit. They're bad.
Yeah, but
That was
also,
it.
why did you have to change the species to guide them towards the portal?
I don't know.
because
They
they're
came up
too
with some
fucking
really
dumb.
weird, contrived reason.
Like, you could technically pick them up all with magic. By
No,
that
no,
point,
no. You
while-
can't touch them. Knowing them, if you touched them with magic, they'd probably fucking explode or something.
Yeah. Just like, hey, how about we help you along with a little magic? I'm allergic to magic.
I'm
Yeah.
allergic to
It
it.
makes my
What if we
throat
gave you
swell
a
up and I
strong
can't
breeze to
breathe?
ride? No, they'll fucking explode.
Yeah, let's give you a nice breeze to ride. Don't make it too strong. My wings will fall
No,
off.
we're allergic to it.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. We'll just get the weather Pegasi to do a light breeze to help you along. Make sure none of the leaves fall down. They can soar us in.
Oh yeah, a
half.
leaf
Yeah.
comes in, knocks them out. Oh Jesus. All over now. A fucking leaf.
It's like, yeah.
Some people.
I'm
are
like,
just-
how does something so fragile actually survive?
This is
more
a
than a
good
minute?
question. Like,
Because-
considering all the fauna in the Equestria, they should have been extinct like 3 times before we reached that episode.
Yeah, well, you
That's
think.
an understatement.
You would have thought.
Maybe like the expedition that like goes and comes back, because that obviously isn't their entire race. Maybe they just die like 95% of the time, and then they just send another one out next year or something.
Maybe they just reproduce really quickly.
Yeah, maybe they just fucking divide cells between themselves and just
They're
like
like-
duplicate.
So Breezies are basically the fruit flies of Equestria.
Yeah, they're fruit flies.
That's why they live in their own portal realm, because otherwise they would just be fucked.
Yeah,
Easy
they
days.
can't live anywhere else because they are that garbage at living.
That's terrible.
God, I hate it when my species' only fucking positive is that it's somehow not dead.
All right. Now, speaking of species,
But they had good design.
with them,
They had good design.
good design. That's
Visual
questionable. I hate their
design.
design. It's ugly as fuck.
Their design was okay, but like I don't like their eyes. They're
Yeah.
just like a little.
The eyes were over the
thing.
top.
The eyes,
they
no.
had
The
like-
antennas,
the
no.
weird thing, yeah, the antennas was weird for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, antennas and eyes just with their eyelash. Look at those eyelashes.
Those
Have
like-
you seen moth? Have you seen moth horses?
No, and I don't
Have
want
I seen
to.
moth horses? I don't. Is there consent there or?
Apparently that's a thing now. If it wasn't a thing, now it is. Thank you, Spirit.
I'm sure it came a thing like over the last
it's-
month with those goddamn lamp memes.
Hey, lamp memes are good.
They're good,
Yeah,
but
not only
you can't deny that it's probably created at least one lamp horse.
Lamp,
you can not like it.
the forbidden lamp.
Look at that fluff.
But that looks like a
it has,
normal antenna. It looks fluffy rather than some weird
Yeah,
long
those look like
thing.
moth
because-
ones. They don't look
Because
like
those are
fucking-
moth antennas. You know, they have like those.
Look, Spirit,
Oh.
I hate to break this to you, but that's just a changeling messing with you.
It's just a changeling, sorry.
That's always the
Can
change.
Changeling adjust to size?
What?
Can Changeling adjust to size?
Yeah, Oslo's
yeah,
turned into a
yes,
fucking
Los
You
Celos
see
giant.
a Celos turning into a-
bugbear,
Yeah.
Turn into a
which
fucking
is something
bugbear.
that is weird for me because when the changelings attacked, they were all just like,
Like,
well, as Spone said, cut and paste, and they never shapeshifted into anything like.
Guys, I have an
you-
idea. Rather than becoming something violent and big, we're just going to copy them.
haven't
Maybe
the...
they didn't get enough. They were love starved and they didn't have the energy to do anything strong. And then once they spend a little bit of time in Canterlot, they're like, "Oh, I can shapeshift into the main six. We're fighting them. Maybe if we
was-
turn into them, we can fight them."
I think we're getting into NG's fan fiction territory here.
And you get your comic fucking fan fiction.
How was the Rex brother named?
My fan fiction account is linked in the description. You know, just read through some of the things. Hopefully, we can make it the next Fallout Equestria, guys. We can do this together. It's not actually. Don't
Stop.
look. Yeah, it won't be.
Jeez.
Actually, where was the moment the hive was attacked? After the reform, the brother of Thorax came in and shapeshifted into a bear or something to fight it. They actually used it once. I really love that moment because
He
they shouldn't
actually
be doing it
wasn't
on
an
the point.
idiot like most of them.
Yeah, just imagine if the entire Changeling army just shapeshifted to bugbears. Easy days.
Yeah.
Like by like Canterlot. How we want to make
Everyone
that?
becomes a bugbear. Everyone becomes Discord, and then they just destroy everything.
Well, they wouldn't get his powers, would they?
Yeah.
I
They would
suppose
just look
not.
like him.
They could just become like, I don't know, just make a bunch of Queen Chrysalis, and then they can all just go intimidate.
Just
Pharynx.
it's the psychological warfare, not the physical warfare.
It's a psychological war. Just become something terrifying. All of them become breezies and just start like destroying.
They would just blow away.
Yeah,
They
like
would just spontaneously combust.
they like kill someone, and then there's, like another horse comes into the room. They're like, "What happened here?" And it's just a breezy going out the window. And they'd be like, "Oh shit, not again."
Like, can you imagine if you like breathed in 10 of those breezes? If it
Yeah.
like swarmed you.
Maybe the
I'd be
Breezies
scared.
were changelings, just fucking with the others, just like
They're just
Look how
fucking
much
with me. There's
of
no
your
way
time
these things could ever
we've
live.
wasted. Like we're not paying you or anything. This is wasted production time. We are slowly ruining your economy with all this voluntary work
Economy?
you have to do because you just care about us so much. Easy days, easy days.
It's just them role playing. Come on.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
just
dear.
part of their LARPing group. Hey guys, let's go be breezies today and see if we can get some ponies to
Let's
help us
go.
along.
Someone lost a bet. They're like, "Hey, you have to try and live like a whole day as this really shitty fucking species."
Yeah.
Oh,
Just
dear.
ultimate survival. Those are the most hardcore, you know, changelings. This is like the sport.
Mm.
You know, like people, like humans, go out
They're
to like
playing on hard
wilderness in Canada and like try to not die for a week somewhere.
Except for
like
with
the
breezies, it's like
It just
living in
turned
like
into
the
breezes.
easiest place in the world in Ponyville, where it's like, "Yep, nothing's happening. We got a light breeze." And suddenly, a rogue leaf comes in,
Cats.
gets a fucking 7-kill streak,
Oh, dear.
Calls
calls in a fucking care package.
care packages 4. Come on, Spone.
Fucking, I don't know. I don't remember what they
They
are.
get either an attack
I'd
helicopter
play
or a
Call of
Harrier
Duty.
strike, depending on which one you're
Was it-
playing.
You play too much Call of Duty. That's
I
what I've
haven't
learned.
in years, but those are just the stuff you remember.
Fucking, I remember Sleight of Hand Pro. Haha.
Haha.
That's about it.
Well, actually, there are 2 races not on the list.
Zebras.
Yeah, zebras as well.
Well, one of them is not zebras. The other one is not zebras either, for me. One of them is alicorns. I have so many questions about those.
Alicorns don't count. They're not-
Yeah,
they're
there are a lot of questions
And
about them.
crystal ponies is like, how do they work?
They
Are
don't.
they actually crystal, or is it just like a weird aesthetic effect?
It's a aesthetic. It's a shader that they
We'll
have.
probably be talking about pony races on another podcast because we're already like 2 hours and 15 minutes in.
Oh,
But-
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's definitely it's something we'll probably do later because I think that could easily take up its own podcast with how much fucking
We do have
all
zebras.
the
There's-
pony variants like zebra, earth ponies,
zebras. I
pegasi,
guess
unicorn.
are zebras a pony variant or are
Yeah.
zebras their own
Crystal
race?
ponies.
That's the real question.
Race.
Maybe, yeah.
I'd say
What
a
about
race.
the
About-
Saddle Arabian horses?
Those would
Oh,
be
that's
horse.
a nation. That's definitely.
Yeah,
a
but they
nation.
look very different, like in build.
Their
And,
offensive
yeah,
trade
I mean,
caravan still stands.
You
Stop.
have the East unicorns, Fizz. You have like with the curved horns, like Mistmane and stuff. Those
Yeah.
are those also
These are all
look different. It's
horses.
like nations.
Yeah, it's just
We
it's
we
like
say races.
genetic differences.
We use races, the term, but it's more like species that should have been used, because we were talking about species while like
I just wanted to
unicorns and
make a racist barn
pegasi
joke. That was
and
it.
saddle Arabians are more so races.
I also wanted to make my quality
true.
race pun. That was
Yeah,
it.
we're not
I had
not
to use
going
race
into
for
the
those.
scientific like terminology of whether we're using the
Taxonomy.
right names for the.
Using right names is irrelevant. I just wanted to point out those are 2 different things.
Yes.
Like saddle Arabians.
I think we're done
and
here.
Buffaloes.
That's it. Sorry, Spirit. We're done. This is the end. We have to call it now.
All right.
Yeah,
We'll
understandable.
lump zebras into some fucking ponies one whenever we decide to do that. All right. So
Phrasing.
closing remarks.
Ended up pulling the plug. I had to stop before it kept going for another 5 minutes.
Fizz ban.
Yes.
Ban. Got it. Banned him. Done.
Aww.
Understood.
Well, it lasted longer than I expected.
Congratulations.
So-
You're fired.
It's been your first time on the podcast, so I'm going to require you to summarize this podcast in 1 sentence or less.
All right, well, I'll summarize it by saying there's nothing wrong with a little chaos.
That's not a summary, but that
It's a phrase. It's a saying.
Yes.
It's a quote, possibly.
different races are very
Discord
chaotic.
is best pony.
Wait, what? I don't think
That's the summary of this pod.
I don't think that works.
All right. I think, okay. The summary of this podcast is that we have had this show for 8 years now, and there are a lot of different races and characters in the show, and they have done some great world building. And it's just a fantastic world to like explore and adventure in the show. And I like all the races for the variety they bring, even the Yaks. And
Is that
that's
one
pretty much it.
sentence?
It's 1 sentence,
One
but he put
sentence
like
or
6 or
less.
7 commas in it,
But
and it was like 12
Yes.
lines long. But it's fine. It's fine.
I feel like I could sum this up better.
Go on then, Spone.
All right.
I'm sorry.
That's not a summary either.
That is a good
No, that's the
summary. That's
best
a good
summary.
summary.
that's a pretty decent summary.
No. That's
I
terrible.
liked it.
Apologizing
I'm not
is
sorry.
necessary.
I'm not sorry.
How do you summarize the insanity that was this podcast, NG?
By apologizing.
About average, really. So, all right then, we'll call it there. So, I hope you guys enjoyed listening in. Thank you to our guests for coming to talk about races that aren't ponies for 2 hours and 20 minutes, considerable amount of time. So, thank you, Fizz, and thank you, Spirit.
Yeah.
And
You're welcome.
Thank you.
we'll see you guys next time.
Thank you for having us on.
No worries.
Oh, there'll be a next time.
Maybe. There might
We're
be.
not seeing you guys next time. We're seeing the viewers next time.
We're seeing the viewers, not you guys
right.
ever again.
You guys can like go fuck off.
It's like, thank you for coming. Get out.
Yeah. So thank you for coming.
Precisely.
Get out. To everyone listening, we'll see you guys next
Don't
time.
mock our 10 viewers. We have a lot.